We are back at the place to be this weekend, LakePoint Sports, for the Georgia Dugout Club Tournament, the second weekend of action here across all 8 fields of the Baseball Village. I'm Cory McCartney, and we've got a watch party for you today. We're going to have a ton of MLB prospects, Division I commits, some of the nation's top underclassmen as well in action. Ideally, we're going to be looking at Forsyth Central, Franklin County Pope, and Mountain View Harrison, but we will be taking you all over campus. This is going to be a group that includes the #1 player in Georgia in 2025, Tai Peoples, the 3rd-ranked player in that class, John Stutzer from Pope, and the 4th-ranked player, Josh Gibbs from Forsyth Central. So this figures to be a good one, a great day of baseball all over campus. I'll be joined along the way by Grayson Rosen, a number of prep baseball scouts, and Reiston Durham, 2026 Texas commit from Dacula. So looking forward to all the action today. And of course, the games on the field are just part of what we have to offer here at LakePoint Sports, and we look to provide parents, families, and coaches with best-in-class experience. And that includes player performance data that is redefining and writing a new path for recruiting. Curve Test Center gives athletes an unprecedented look at how they measure up through its ball, body, and brain approach to testing. Let's take a look inside the first ever Curve Test Center.
We're here at LakePoint Sports, the site of the first Curve Test Center. There will be lots of Curve Test Centers, but this will always be the first. And why are we here? Here for a couple of reasons. One is if you think about the effort players are spending trying to get coaches to notice them, the effort coaches are spending trying to figure out who's actually any good, the poor parents who are sitting there saying, where's my kid headed? This is the answer for all that.
Everyone wants to be seen, right? Sometimes what can be seen is data. So it's hard to get in front of coaches at all these programs at once, or even the school you really want to go to. So using data helps us a ton. And as long as it's reliable and there's something that can give us better information with the small sample size is what we're looking for.
Curve Test Center is offering free performance tests this weekend here at LakePoint Sports. Test your athletic, cognitive, and baseball skills with TrackMan, Proteus, and more. Visit at the Bubble or sign up at curvetestcenter.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. So we are in for our watch party now, joined by Texas commit Reiston Durham from Dacula. Reiston, man, thanks for stopping by. Good to see you, man. An absolutely dominant win for you guys, 17-4 over North Springs a little bit earlier today. You still got Kell a little later. Take me inside. I know you guys had a rough one against Forsyth Central. Bounce it back in a big way. Take me inside that win. Pull your mic up just a little bit so we can get you. There you go. Now you're ready to rock. Texas commit, that comes out of the feature games, man. I was so happy to see you. You were one of my favorite players that we got to watch this summer because you just bring so much energy, so much enthusiasm. Take me inside the process post feature games, being part of that Georgia squad, and then ultimately the commitment to Texas in September.
Man, Futures Games was amazing. You know, there was a bunch of dogs. Just you walk around, it's tens all around, and being around that competition, it just brings your game to a next level. And, you know, Future Games gave me a great opportunity to showcase my talents. You know, you'll run into more scouts than parents, you know, and it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, and I'm very blessed to be there.
Texas has now got your commitment. What was it about the Longhorns in Austin that you said, man, that's where I got to be?
It just felt like family. You know, I wanted a home feel, and when I went there, they made me feel very welcome. They have awesome facilities. All the coaches were super nice. You know, I love their philosophy within the game. And, yeah, that was pretty much it.
I was talking yesterday to Maddox Mansour, 2025 from Carrollton, who obviously is going to be on campus a little bit earlier than you. Told me the first time that you guys had ever met was at a Texas football game last year?
Yeah. It was the game against Arizona State. And he had DM'd me. He was like, yo, bro, Georgia boys, you're going to Texas. So, we had to meet up. He was a really cool dude. Lots of life in him. And I'm ready to play with him.
So talking to him, talking to Tai Peoples, Josh Gibbs, everybody's kind of getting to this point where the word's out on you and you're not getting pitched to the same way. Are you starting to experience that a little bit more in this junior season?
Yeah, you definitely see that. You're starting to get more off speed. They're starting to pitch around you a little bit more, so you kind of got to change your mindset within each at-bat.
Makes you kind of, I think, probably long for that summertime, right, when you're going to be part of a lineup. It's like you can't pitch around me anymore.
Yeah, where you just, might get a fastball and you're trying to, make a mistake.
So how do you kind of build that patience within yourself then to know, I may get 1-2 fastballs a game? Like how do you kind of learn to kind of adapt to everything?
I still keep my approach the same. I'll still try to attack the fastball ahead in the count. If they throw me an off speed, I might take it 0-0, 0-1. But I'm still looking for that fastball. I can drive the other way, and if he throws it inside, I'm punish it.
What you got written inside the hat?
I have my name and number, and then let all naysayers know. Jalen Milrow said it. And I really like that term, so.
Yeah, Mansour yesterday told me every time he steps into the plate, he looks at his bat and he's got "I'm him" written on it.
Yeah.
So you guys just got to have like that visual stuff, right?
Yeah, it's just a visual cue to just get me in that mode,
Tell me about the preparation for this junior year. What did you do differently than maybe you were doing? I know you put a lot of work in regardless, but what were you maybe doing differently ahead of this year to kind of help you reach whatever goals you had set?
I was more focused in the weight room, eating more, trying to gain a little bit more weight, more bulk in my swing, so I don't have to swing as hard, I can keep my head down on the ball, so I maybe can swing 75% and it'll still go my 100% maybe a year ago, you know what I mean? So I just more weight room activity and running.
What was the diet that you used? I mean, I talked to you this summer when we did one of our in-game talkbacks about diet and you and your mom making sure you know how to cook. But what were you eating to pack on that weight ahead of this year?
I was eating steak, lots of steak, chicken. So I'll pack some school meals without the day, and I'll chew on that a couple times. It's more eating consistently than like big meals. So I'll pair that with in school lifts and all that.
What are you up to now?
Squat.
I'm talking. What the body weight?
Body weight.
We can get into that in a second. But what's the body weight now? How much weight did you put on?
I'm 175 right now.
So where were you a year ago?
I was 165.
Okay.
Yeah, so I put about 10 pounds on. I'm trying to get up to 180, 185.
I saw the video of you hitting the deadlifts pretty hard. Let's talk numbers now. What are you up to?
Deadlift. I think I'm on like 3. I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
I'm on 3 something. Yeah. I'm mid threes.
Okay. So I saw that you were tagged on a post, and I thought this was really interesting, of you working with younger players. Tell me about giving back to the game and giving back to those younger kids.
Man, it means so much. When I was younger, I had my dad, and I was around a lot of great talent when I was young, and I was blessed to be around those guys, to see them, how they work, and what they do to get where they are. And so, with Brandon and Takeoff, I've been trying to get the kids to understand, this is the time where you need to get better. This is the time where everybody sleep. Everybody might be tired from the week before, but this is what's going to make you great.
If you could go back and tell yourself something at their age about what awaits and the whole process of getting yourself on the national radar and ultimately getting that Division I commitment, what would you tell a younger player?
Just keep your head down and work. It might not come right now, it might not come in a year, but if you keep focusing on yourself and you're not looking at all the other stuff and all the other distractions, I feel like you'll do great.
Is it hard not to get caught up in it, though, when you see your name kind of people start tagging you on stuff and your name, you start to become, a thing? Is it hard not to get caught up in it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little bit hard, but as my dad says, you got to find peace in the pressure. So you just got to focus. You got to focus more and the lighter the bright shine, the lighter the light shines. You know, you just gotta perform.
I saw you got the Camwood thing going. Tell me about like the NIL situation. Like, how did you kind of approach opportunities like that, weigh things, and kind of, because I know you don't want to be disingenuous with it, right? Like, you want to, if people, you want to associate yourself with brands that you want to be associated with. You don't want to just like whatever comes. How did you approach all that and ultimately kind of line up with Camwood?
Well, Camwood's bats, it's amazing. Honestly, I enjoy swinging it. I would probably swing it even if I wasn't, you know, collabing with them. But it started a couple years back with Dan Smalls, and he put me on with Camwood, and, you know, I swung it a couple times. I was like, hey, this is kind of nice, you know, and it's been great after that, and I'll swing it 10 times out of 10 every year.
All right, we gave Camwood the commercial. So you use the training bat and use them in game as well?
Yeah. The heavy trainer with the weight on the hands, keep my hands inside, and speed training.
A lot of guys they'll use the speed trainer, but a lot of guys aren't using them in bat. So what was the difference for you in terms of using that to say like a Tucci or, you know, a Rawlings or any other bats?
I don't know. I just love the feel of Camwood. They allow you to customize it so much within the colors and the weight. And if you want the weight in the hands, if you want the weight in the end, you know, that's all up to your discretion. So it was more of like the personal feel for me and what I wanted. Okay.
We got Kell and Forsyth Central going now. Josh Gibbs, one of the top players in Georgia in the class of 2025 in that one. Up top, you got Carrollton and Grayson just wrapping up. Talk about Maddox Mansour, Texas signee. He's at the plate right now for Carrollton. Tell me about Maddox's game. I knew you haven't seen a lot of him, but when you have seen him, what do you like about him and his approach to the plate?
He's very patient. He waits for his pitch, and if he sees it, he drives it. That's one thing I noticed is he's a big dude. He's a big dude, you know. So he'll correct on a mistake if you throw it.
He told me he got the 60 down to a 6.32
it's
recently.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. To be that buff and he's moving like that, it's freakish.
What are you running these days?
I'm running like a 6.7.
Okay. Could you get down that low?
I hope so.
You hope so.
I better get down to that by senior year.
Okay.
Senior year.
So expectations for you guys this year, what were you kind of setting for Dacula being a leader on this team? You're still obviously a junior, but what were you kind of setting for the expectations for the team and for yourself?
For the team, obviously the goal is to win a state championship every year. You know, I'll coming off the year, I feel like we kind of underperformed, but this year it was just more of just building off what we had before and really focusing on hitting and being consistent with each game. You know, some games we'll have a 15-0 win, and then another game we're kind of competing with a team that's below us, I feel like. And that was the main focus right now, and the guys are doing a good job, you know, picking it back up after a tough game, and I'm very proud of them.
When it's Halloween, do you guys ever call this school Dacula? You ever do that?
I heard people say Dracula before.
Dracula,
like
okay.
Just on the regular,
yeah.
You play for Dracula, right? Like, no, bro, where'd you get the R?
Well, it's just a weird word. You
Yeah.
know, you don't see it, and I'm sure it gets mispronounced all the time.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah, all the time.
All right, so mentioned Josh Gibbs down here in the bottom, man. Absolute rocket off the bat there. That one is on its way onto the right field warning tracks and be hauled in for an out. What have you seen of Josh Gibbs? Another guy. I mean, you're a taller guy, and you think about Gibbs. He's listed at 5'10". I don't know if that's like real 5'10", because I've been around Josh Gibbs. I don't know if 5'10" is really the height. But what have you seen out of him?
He stays in his legs a lot. You know, he might do a lot pre-pitch, but when he gets there, when he gets to his launch position, he's very quiet to the ball, very short, and he'll put it over the trees if you let him.
Yeah, he's got some absolute power he generates out of that frame. So I love to know about what a guy does. So we've got you in between games as that one's going into right field for a base hit in there, and that's Grayson's up 4-1 over Carrollton. You got a break in between games. At what point do you kind of start to get yourself ratcheted up for the next one, and what's that process for you to get yourself game ready?
Well, of course, whenever the bus comes, but when I step up on the field, I just stretch. That's the main thing. You got to stay loose, got to stay limber. You know, a lot of back stuff because my back is always pretty tight in my legs. So that's the main thing I focus on. And then go to short tee, high tee, then front soft, and then, of course, BP. I use the trainer bat to, you know, keep my hands inside, keep it high, short to the ball, and then just let it loose.
You got a playlist? You got anything like, what do you so I actually was talking to some guys last year. They said they listen to classical music. Some guys listen to like old school R&B. I mean, everybody's kind of got their own thing. But what's that outside of the work itself? What are those other pieces for you?
I listen to chill stuff on the bus. When I'm kind of getting towards the field, I listen to a lot of rap and stuff. But when I'm hitting and all that, I don't really listen to anything. I feel like I need to be locked in my head. I don't want to be listening to music because I feel like when I get in the box, I'm with myself. So
do you miss having like walk-up music? Because when you're a kid, everybody gets walk-up music, but that's not really a thing. We don't do it here. I mean, a lot of high school, I know some do, but most don't. Do you miss like having the whole walk-up music and all that?
Yeah, I'm actually lucky. Our high school does have walk-up songs. Yeah, so I missed it because from 9U to I say 11U, we had walk-up songs, and then once you get older, it's just like you just step up in the box. But it's a cool experience having a walk-up song.
Did it change for you, or did you kind of stick with the same song throughout? Or
I kind of switched without each year. I think I had a different song. I think my first year was like Hidden or some song like that.
What is it now?
I think it's Walk by Rallo.
Is that you gonna stick with that for the whole season?
No, I'll probably change it in between.
That's gonna drive whoever's running whoever runs your music crazy if you guys are constantly.
He's probably.
But then, do you guys like give them like I want this part of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a certain part, so we send them like maybe like a 10-second clip.
That's gonna drive them crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
So some of the guys, seniors playing their last games here, you're not going to be in that. Obviously, you're still going to have this summer, potentially next year if you guys come back for another GDC tournament. When you start thinking about the things that you've had happen to you here, obviously you think about that 3-run home run that you hit for Georgia in the future games against Texas last year. Are there other games and other things that have happened on these fields that really stick out to you?
Oh, yeah. When I hit that one home run. I don't know what field it was on. It was the field up there, but it was pretty far. That was like the hardest ball I hit. I think it was like 98.9 or something like that. But I just hit 198 just the other game, so that shows, the weight that I've been working on. So I've been very proud of myself.
I don't know if you saw it on social, but we had Terrence Bowen last weekend, 107.9.
No, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I saw that on Instagram, and I was like, whoa.
He said he got to second base, and he looked up at the scoreboard, and he's like, I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah, bro, that was insane. I was really shocked.
They're giving him a moment he's never going to forget. And those were his last games here. I guess some of the guys from Prep Baseball Georgia said that they had talked to Terrence's dad after last weekend, and he said it was kind of a little sad for them because you spend so much time on these fields. I mean, with GBSA Rays and then playing here for Dacula, you guys just get so used to this being kind of part of the routine for you guys, and then you're going to get to the point where it's just not going to be there. It's going to be a weird situation.
It's definitely bittersweet.
So the Texas commitment, do you now find yourself going out and recruiting other guys? Are you putting the word out? Not asking you to name names, but are you putting the word out there for other guys to be like, you got to come join me in Austin?
Oh yeah, definitely. Texas, their roster right now is stacked. If you look, Brody Bamilia, he's over there in I think Massachusetts. Yep. Who else do they have? Maddox, of course. They have some crazy commitments. So you're always trying to build your team up and improve it.
When you think about the next 18 months for you, you're going to have a preparation for another summer, another high school season. There's always going to be those rumblings in the MLB draft. Where do you want to be as a player when it's time to hit Austin that maybe isn't right there for you right now? There's little things that you still want to improve. We talked about a 60 time, talked about you packing on some weight. What are those other things that you really feel like got to get hit off that checklist before you're done?
I would say more barrel balls consistently. I want to be able to be freshman and start ready, be ready. In this age of baseball, you kind of got to be ready to play just off the bat. And so I want to be able to go to Austin and, they're like, okay, throw you in the game and watch you ball. I would say fielding-wise, just footwork, getting around the ball, staying within my throw, following the throw, and hitting, just being more patient at the plate, waiting for my pitch instead of, letting the pitcher maybe throw something and I'll just throw my hands at it,
I asked Maddox this question yesterday. One of the SEC signees I talked to at Super 60 was telling me he committed way back when he was an 8th grader. And he said, people ask me, like, you stick with the same school throughout the process. Some guys, we've obviously seen guys flip to other schools, but he said for him, he wanted to, when he became a senior and it was signing day, he wanted to look at that whole process like it was a contract, and that he wanted to become the player that they were projecting him to be. Is that kind of how you look at it?
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I want to be an MLB draft pick. That's the end goal. So, like I said, I just want to, when I get to Austin, I want Coach Tulowitzki just let me ball, just go out there and he don't have to say too much, and I just go out there and perform.
Obviously, I know you and your dad put in a ton of work, especially on the defensive side of things. What are those drills for you? Like that, we talked about you working with the younger kids, but are there like, no matter what you did at practice that day, is there stuff you still go home and do, or those you kind of your own personal practice things?
Yeah, like even when I'm at home, I might just sit on my knees, throw a ball against the wall, and do some hand work, short hops, one hand, backhand, forehand. There's another drill. You just set up 3 cones and work around the ball, head down, following your throw after. Just simple stuff like that, the repetitive stuff, boring, but it's necessary. It's necessary.
And it's funny you say that, because I think we talked before about, like, when your name pops and people start seeing you on social media and stuff, in the younger guys, I think they see somebody who's like reached a certain level and they just think, okay, that's just going to happen. But I think for you to sit there and be like, no, there's still other work outside of that. I think it's a huge message for younger players. It's like, yeah, it's not all about you practicing when it's practice time. It's not all about you going out there when it's game time and that being the swings that you get. It really is about, like, what did you do when no one was watching?
It's the work when nobody's watching. That's exactly what it is.
And your dad's obviously been a huge driving force for you in that. Where else does that work ethic, you think, kind of come from you?
Definitely my dad. My parents, to be honest, I'm just trying to get them in the best situation possible so they don't have to work at all.
There you go.
Hey, you need some bread? Okay, cool. Just throw some money. I want to give back to them. They gave me so much, and this is the least I can do. Put 100% in this. That's what I'm going to do.
Absolutely putting in the work, and, man, so excited for you when I saw that Texas commitment. So, Reiston Durham, you got a game coming up later today against Kell. Best of luck, man. Appreciate you stopping by.
I appreciate it.
We're going to take a quick break here in the Georgia Dugout Club Tournament Watch Party, and we'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
From the Georgia Dugout Club Tournament second weekend of action. Grayson Rosen now joining me in studio here. We've got Forsyth Central with a 2-0 lead over Kell. Meanwhile, Mountain View up 1-0 over Harrison. That's it's Harrison. So it just kind of got lopped off a little bit on our scoreboard there. But we talk about the big-time performances that we've had across these weekends. Big ones last weekend and some really huge ones last night and earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, I've got most of the stuff for today. Obviously, last night we had some great games. We talked about them a little bit on our broadcast if you guys want to go back and watch that full replay. But just from what's happened today, I want to start off with Field 9, naturally first in the schedule. Richmond Hill's Aiden Pluff. They played a back-to-back. First game, Pluff was the starting pitcher. 5.2 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts in that 6-1 win over Loganville. Go to game 2, he's back into the lineup instead of pitching. Richmond Hill wins 14-4 over Brookwood, and Pluff has 5 RBIs.
Jeez.
Unbelievable day for Aiden Pluff, and ends off his GDC run with quite the Saturday in those 2 games. And then on Field 10, Grayson has played 2 extremely close games in their back-to-back. They win 4-3 over Pope with a 2 RBI walk-off single by leadoff hitter Landon Arroyos. And then in Game 2, Grayson wins it 4-3. Carrollton, the team trying to come back, they scored 2 late runs in that top of the 7th, which we saw here live, and they tried to come up, and Grayson luckily holds them off to get their wins. So a great start as well, or a great weekend as well for Grayson. And then on Field 11, Jefferson wins 6-2 over Harrison. Eston Simpson on the bump for Jefferson, 5 Ks, no earned runs in his 4 innings pitched, and then that one followed up East Paulding, an 8-4 victory over Jefferson. Just some good hitting up and down, not a necessary standout performance by anybody, but the whole lineup really just doing a good job for East Paulding there. Go over to Field 12, North Springs gets a kind of surprising upset win over Forsyth Central, 3-2. You had a great day for Mason McRoberts at the plate. He had a solo shot that brought the game to just 1 run in the 6th for Forsyth Central, but North Springs just had 3 runs they kind of peppered in throughout the game and ended up holding on for a victory. And then in the second game of the day, Dacula and Reiston Durham won 17-4 over North Springs. Jack Moore with the big day, 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. And then we go over to the other side in Field 13. Campbell, a huge victory, 19-0 over Norcross. I believe it was a 12-run first inning. Unbelievable. 8 hits, 7 walks, 4 batters reach on error for Campbell in that big run rule victory. And then North Forsyth keeps the run rules going by way of Brady Holbrook and his 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. They win 12-2 over Norcross. And then over on Field 14, McEachern, a 10-0 win over Peach County. Chubb Jones Jr. up on the mound for that one. Stellar outing for him, tapping up to 95, I think twice, stayed above 91 on the fastball, hit the 90s in his final inning of work. I think that was the 4th or 5th inning. And the offense obviously backed them up well with 10 runs. And then second game on that one, Peach County playing a back-to-back. They got shut out in the first game. They win 6-1 over Sprayberry in the second game. Scout Willingham, again, last weekend, a huge standout player. This weekend, a 2-home run performance for him in that big win over Sprayberry. And then field 15, Allatoona killing it. 10-0 win over Dawson County. Big sixth inning from Allatoona's offense to get that run roll. And then a 3-1 win that they hold on to over North Cobb in what was a close game all the way through. And finally, field 16, Cambridge 10, Cass 1. A 7-run first inning for Cambridge, and they kind of just coasted that one out. And then Cass bounces back in game 2, beats Osborne 13-0.
You mentioned that Peach County 6-1 win over Sprayberry. Jackson Peavy, the Georgia commit, 13 strikeouts in that one, 3 walks, no hits, no runs over 5 innings of work. So nice performance from him. And you mentioned a bounce back for that Peach County squad. And Reiston Durham was talking about a bounce back for his own team. They really had some ran into some troubles against Forsyth Central, but then they just came back with a dominant win over North Springs.
Yeah, it's been some extremely exciting stuff that we've had going over these last couple of weeks.
Got some disco stuff going on in Carrollton and Grayson. That one's actually switching over for the next set of games.
Yeah, and that'll be Franklin County and Pope on that field.
Yeah, we can probably switch over to any of the other games that we have over there while we're waiting for that one to get started.
Right now, Mountain View up 1-0 over Harrison in that bottom of the first.
Yeah, Aiden Pluff, interesting you talk about him. Unranked player in the state of Georgia in 2025, plays for 5-star. I would imagine the opportunities are going to kind of pop for that Richmond Hill 2025 after this performance.
Definitely, Richmond Hill just really killing it all weekend.
Mountain View up 1-0 over Harrison. Meanwhile, Forsyth Central's got a 2-0 lead over Kell.
And Forsyth Central saw the offensive struggles. They've already matched the amount of runs they scored in that first game of the day. Now looking to make work of Kell.
And get a look at Josh Gibbs at the plate pretty soon here from that Forsyth Central Kell game.
Looks like Kell is at the plate right now. Yeah, there's Gibbs sneaking into frame there at shortstop.
Well, while we've got Pope and Franklin County getting loose there in the upper left-hand corner, we're going to take a quick break and we'll bring you some more action, try to bring you 3 in-progress games here. We'll be right back from our watch party from the Georgia Dugout Club Tournament. All right, and we're back. Flowery Branch and McEachin now in the top left corner there as we're able to bring you 3 in-progress games as we wait for Franklin County and Pope to get started on field 10. The scoreless game right now.
Flowery Branch and McEachin moving pretty quickly too. That field's been pretty well on schedule as well, unlike some of our other games, unfortunately. But they're in the bottom of the third now with 1 out.
Nick Yarborough on the mound for Harrison against Mountain View on his way to Georgia Highlands next year. Saw that Nick is signed to go play for Dash O'Neill and the Chargers starting next season. So keeping a little close to home. Guy that can get it done two-way, so certainly be interesting to see how he fits in with the Chargers. Yeah, we had efforted to bring you Wayne County and Loganville, but that field's camera is a little out of sorts at the moment, so unfortunately not going to get a look at Loganville, a team that has been a perennial power these past few years here in the state of Georgia, but hopefully we can get that sorted out and maybe bring you that game a little bit later on.
Right now, Loganville down 1-0 to Wayne County in the bottom of the first, so Wayne County's still alive.
Forsyth Central 2-0 lead over Kell.
Great pitch right there. Get the punch out. We got Roland Wood on the mound for Forsyth Central.
You mentioned Yarborough on the mound. Plays for USA Prime Scout during the travel season. 6th ranked first baseman in Georgia, 180 overall in the class. Got him with fastball up around 85 miles an hour, changeup 78 to 79, curveball 73 to 74, and a slider around 63 to 64. He was a preseason All-State a year ago, 2021 junior feature gamer. That one's fouled back. Mountain View just one ranked player within the state of Georgia, but that's Andrew Breach, their pitcher. Number 1 ranked right-handed pitcher in Georgia in 2027. He's 4th overall in the class.
I believe he took the mound last night for them and had a good performance.
So hoping we might get a look at Dom Stevenson behind the plate for Harrison, but he's not catching, it looks like, at the moment.
Now we're heading into the bottom of the second. Kell and Forsyth Central. And I believe where Forsyth Central's at in the lineup, we'll get Josh Gibbs as the 3rd hitter in this inning.
Evan Brand is on the mound for Kell in that one. 10th ranked shortstop in Georgia in 27, 36th overall, plays for 6'4" 3DP Cougars. Got him with a fastball around 87. It's a nice matchup here for Gibbs. You know, Josh Gibbs, I was talking to Reiston Durham about this, talked to Tai Peoples about it earlier in the day. These guys really get to a point where no one wants to throw to them. You know, it's just kind of a reality during these high school seasons that these elite hitters, teams just don't want those guys to beat them. And that's certainly a reality for a guy like Josh Gibbs. So we'll see how he adjusts. Maybe Evan Brand's going to challenge him with one of those rare fastballs that he rarely sees anymore. Peoples just told me you see a lot of breaking stuff here to start his senior season. I'm sure Gibbs can probably say he's seen the exact same thing as that one's skied into foul territory in Kell Forsyth Central.
Yeah, and I was fortunate enough to get a mic up with Josh Gibbs. Will be coming out sometime this week, and one of the moments that I'll go ahead and say, because obviously if you really cared, you could go back and see that it happened, but Gibbs had, I believe it was off a breaking ball, 100.8 exit velo straight into the ground.
Wow.
And just rolled straight to the first baseman. They got him out at first, but yeah, he just has immense power behind that bat and such a strong swing that it's pretty easy to see when you watch him on the field exactly why he is a Georgia signing.
Got a strikeout for Nick Yarborough in the Mountain View Harrison game. That one's going to get away from the catcher. Runner's going to advance to third. Who we have at the plate right now for Mountain View? It'll be Julian Hayes.
Single right there out into the gap. Run scores from McEachern. Now they got runners on the corners with 2 outs. They break the gridlock there, 0-0, and make it a 1-run ball game.
Starting to get a little bit cooler here. I was just outside of our studio a few moments ago. It's certainly going to be something to watch as the day wears on.
Yeah, I mean, this morning it was freezing when these games started up, and then by the time the 12:30 round got started, it seemed like everything had kind of gotten to at least a reasonable temperature. Now, as we get into the later hours of the 3 o'clock slate, it's starting to cool back down.
Yeah, wild pitch and Mountain View and Harrison. As Yarborough's off and got away from the catcher, and then his throwback went over top of Yarborough's head. So now it's going to be 2-0 Mountain View.
Starting to see some runs being scored here in the early goings in a lot of these matchups.
Had Ian Smith from Prep Baseball Georgia yesterday during our Pope Carrollton matchup, and we talked specifically about Harrison, a team that I was surprised was not in the initial Power 25, as that one's into the glove of the right fielder for the inning ending out. He mentioned that Colin White had an injury that was going to keep the Georgia Tech commit off the mound for the Hoyas. So that's a big loss for them, but certainly an opportunity for a guy like Nick Yarborough to really step up and help hold down that pitching staff.
Yeah, and one thing to note is, like you said, Harrison is obviously a team that should be up in that conversation. And if you guys have looked at Prep Baseball's or Prep Baseball Georgia's Power 25 before, they've got their teams to watch down there at the bottom of the list, and Harrison is one of those on that list. So certainly no surprise that Harrison is a strong team and just looking to kind of overcome these injuries.
Barr grounds out there for Forsyth Central, so we're through 2 innings in that one. Forsyth Central up 2-0.
We'll have to wait to see a little more of Josh Gibbs.
Still waiting for Franklin County and Pope to get underway. From a star standpoint, really doesn't get much bigger than what we have there with John Stutzer and the top-ranked player in the class here in Georgia and the top-ranked outfielder in the nation. Georgia met Tai Peoples, and we just absolutely went yard from McEachern. Got a 2-run blast as they're going to extend their lead over Flowery Branch.
Let's go see who hit that one, because that was quite the blast right there.
Well, that was none other than Harry Chubb Jones Jr.
Who would have guessed, man? He's having a fantastic
Somehow
day.
Looks even taller than I remember him being last summer.
I think he has grown significantly. You shot the extra bases that I did with him, and he was already pretty tall. But man, he just
we got him listed at 6'3", but he looks even bigger than that at this point. But he was a preseason All-State at the event that we had up in Flowery Branch in January.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to find a lot of sophomores that are topping out at 95 in live games as well. And now hitting a home run in his next appearance. It's pretty special.
Having our mound meeting between Pope and Franklin County, so we'll be bringing you that action momentarily. We'll dip out of Flowery Branch and McEachern.
Things got underway now on field 15 between Dawson County and Paulding County, and Dawson County's off to a hot start, already up 2-0 in the top of the first.
All right, here is our mound meeting between Pope and Franklin County.
So for now, we'll leave McEachern at 4-0 lead over Flowery Branch in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, obviously Tai Peoples is going to be the guy to watch for Franklin County, in this one. mentioned his credentials, the Georgia signee, but he is not alone in key players for that Franklin County squad. Caden Cawthorn, outfielder, right-handed pitcher, 2026, who plays for Coastal Stars in the summer, and also another Divine Baseball name, Hudson Huff, the 2028. Number 8 right-handed pitcher in Georgia, 57th overall, fastball up around 84 miles an hour. So we'll see who ends up taking the mound for Franklin County. It's a matchup with Pope Greyhounds, runner-up in 4A a year ago, or 6A. Sorry, excuse me. They keep changing around.
Yeah, it seems like there's some schools that have maybe changed like every year. I mean, it seems like Blessed Trinity is one of those teams where like every year I look at the bracket at the, end of the year for a different sport, and I'm like, oh, Blessed Trinity is playing in that division now. But hey, it just happens. I mean, you can't really control it all that much. Good hit right there by Kell. See if that one drops in. Does drop in. He gets past the right fielder for Forsyth Central. He's rounding second, heading for third. Get the relay throw. Safe third.
They get that nice belly on slide into third base.
Yeah, and a leadoff triple and a full count for Kell. Trying to climb back into this one with the early 2-0 deficit. 86.5 off the bat there.
We'll see who's going to be on the mound for Pope, as they'll be on the field to start things off against Franklin County.
While you're finding that, I'll give some score updates from some of our other games. Cambridge and Bremen. Bremen up 3-0 now in the bottom of the second. Over on field 16. Field 9, Wayne County still up 1-0 over Loganville in the top of the second. Things about to get underway there on 10 that we're looking at right now. And then Marietta and Campbell, 2-2 in the top of the fourth. And McEachern still up 4-0 in the top of the fourth as well over Flowery Branch. Dawson County up 2-0 over Paulding County over on field 15.
We're going to have Smith is going to be the pitcher of getting the starting assignment for Pope.
We got that throw down, so things about to get underway here for Franklin County.
Yeah, and Tai Peoples is going to lead things off. So the 2-time Prep Baseball All-American. We're going to get our first look at Tai.
Last night had a triple, hit it a little bit off the hands. So this guy can certainly really do whatever you call his name for. Some weak contact there, goes foul.
Yeah, Tai said a lot of curveballs at this point in the season. Has yet to go yard. We'll see if maybe that changes here against the Pope Greyhounds.
Shoe time delay there for Forsyth Central.
People sends that one back foul. Top-ranked player in Georgia, mentioned 2-time Prep Baseball All-American. People sends that one. Yeah, that one's going foul. 90.1 off his bat. Number 12 overall in the nation in the class of 2025.
And I think, like we mentioned, how he's been seeing so many curveballs. How badly does that mess up your timing? Just knowing, like, oh, nobody wants to throw me a fastball. Right there again, another, looked like an off speed there, but I mean, nobody wants to throw him the fastball, and it almost makes him have to sit back and wait on a breaking ball. See what he gets here on 1-2.
Puts an absolute charge into this one. Tai Peoples got him on the run. Tai Peoples has got himself his first bomb of the year. Make that trip around the bases. He is backtracking gone. Number 1 bomb of the 2025 season for Tai Peoples.
Call his name, and he's going to answer. Tai Peoples. As soon as we literally were talking about it, we wanted to see if he was going to get his first home run of the season, and there it is.
101-3 off the bat. Tai Peoples goes yard against Pope.
It's that LakePoint difference.
That's
Tai,
right.
In Franklin County, if you guys would like, you can play all your home games here. 101.3 exit velo on that home run from Tai Peoples.
I need the
wow.
Yeah, I need the home-to-home splits on that run around the bases too, because Tai was booking, man. He absolutely was feeling it in that moment.
Yeah, hey, that's the first of many. He's not going to waste his time trotting around the bases for the first one.
Well, he's got Franklin County up 1-0 over Pope. Pope, the number 5 team in Prep Baseball Georgia's Power 25.
You really can't write a better script than that. I mean, we've kind of waited around this game starting almost an hour late, and Franklin County certainly not cold coming into this one.
Well, we'll thank Tai Peoples for the clip for our social media a little bit later with that bomb and our call on it.
And Kell did get one of those runs back on field 12, so they're now down 1-2. Looks like we're getting the top it ready here from Forsyth Central.
Drive down the left field side in Forsyth Central and Kell, and that one's going to be, as if it went foul. We're going to have Josh Gibbs is batting next in that Forsyth Central Kell game. We're going to take a quick break here in a minute, but I want to make sure we get Josh Gibbs AB before we do so. Got Avery Hunt waiting outside to come on with us for a little while. It almost looks like the Mountain View Harrison game's on like another time zone or something. It's just a little bit darker.
Yeah, I think that's something that's just, for some reason, been a thing with Field 11.
The dark cloud hanging over top of. I think the curved bubble is blocking the sun.
Could be. Yeah, it's a big bubble. You guys should go check out if you're here this weekend.
Ground out there for Forsyth Central, and here comes Josh Gibbs. Gibbs, Georgia signee. We saw one Georgia signee go yard. We'll see what Gibbs has here in store for this AB, the 4th-ranked player in 2025 here in Georgia. First pitch swinging, sends that back foul. Primarily plays for the East Cobb Astros during the summertime. Exit velos around 102.1, bat speed around 85.2 for the 5'10", 162-pound right-hander. Was it Super 60 earlier this month?
Yeah, this morning was sporting his Super 60 hoodie while he warmed up.
Nice. Gibbs coming with a swag as he hits LakePoint Sports. Well, he gets his fastball down the middle, that one at 83.7, but it just misses.
Yeah, I was about to say, it almost looked like a strike, but maybe I just believed the framework too much. Sent out in the center field there by Harrison Mountain. It's going to be corralled.
Yeah, Evan Brand obviously thought that was a strike for Kell. Let's see what he does here on the 1-2 against Gibbs. Won't take it too long as Gibbs drops the bat. Brand delivers. Gibbs goes high. Yes, sends that one into the second baseman's glove. The throw is not in time as gets away from the first baseman, so Josh Gibbs going to find himself at first base. Hard hit ball to the left side of the second baseman, unable to corral it in time to get Gibbs at first, so he's going to have himself an infield single, a 1-out single.
Yeah, I think in retrospect, if you're Gibbs, you probably don't love that you reached up for that one, but you made solid contact, 81.2 off of a kind of an emergency swing there, and you legged out and made it there to first, so good work by Gibbs to get on base.
All right, now that we've seen Josh Gibbs in action, we are going to take a quick break, just a quick commercial break for you, and then we'll have Avery Hunt here in studio. Grayson Rosen will be joining us a little bit later on.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
It's not a watch party unless Avery Hunt joins us here in studio. Avery, welcome back in, man. I had another late night last night, back at it today. I know you kind of get to see everything from the scout towers. Tell me impressions about what you've seen over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this morning, some fun over on South Quad with Harry Jones Jr., you know, running it up to 95 early this morning. Cooper Underwood with another impressive outing for Allatoona. So, you know, that was kind of a good start to the day last night, obviously. A lot of good baseball, you know, especially with people bearing the elements that was last night. It was nice and chilly. So, yeah, it's been a fun day so far. So, looking forward to kind of keep it rolling here these last two time slots.
Yeah, we saw Chubb Jones Jr. Hit a 2-run bomb from McEachern before we switched over to Franklin County and Pope, and then we tuned in just in time to see Tai Peoples go yard, his first home run of the season in this one.
It's just good timing there.
That's right.
Good
yeah,
timing.
Absolutely. Yeah, Ty's been waiting on that one. Told me he's not seen a lot of fastballs. He absolutely pummeled 101 off his bat as he made a trip around the bases. His team up 1-0 over Pope. Meanwhile, Mountain View leads Harrison 2-0. Forsyth Central leading Kell 2-1 here in the bottom of the third.
Well, I don't know that Peoples is going to see a lot of fastballs for the rest of the year, especially when you see him and you hit him, you know, 101 over the fence. That tends to deter people from throwing them to you again.
I just don't know how those guys, how they don't get overly aggressive, you know, and just go up there and take your walks. I mean, Reiston Durham was in here to start things off with us. He's starting to see that a little bit. I know Josh Gibbs says he does. Peoples, I remember talking to Brady House a few years ago when he was coming up, you know, he was down in Warner Robins.
Winder
Barrow, yeah. I'm combining two other.
You're good. You're close.
Yeah, I stopped by Buc-ee's on the way back through Florida the other day in Warner Robins, so I had Warner Robins on the mind. But, yeah, coming through Winder Barrow before he ended up getting drafted by the Nationals, I remember him telling me it's just frustrating, you know, and you obviously are feeling the pressure, especially in your senior season, because, you know, you got scouts there to see you. And Tom Batista is actually Ryan Braun's stepdad, and he's the scout that signed Freddie Freeman with the Braves. And he got asked to do a cross-check on Mike Trout, and they sent him to New Jersey. And he said, I watched the guy for 4 games, and no one threw a ball to him.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's
really good at standing there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can say something about plate discipline, but at some point you want to see a guy swing a bat. Ground out there in Franklin County and Pope, and that's going to bring it into that inning. But Franklin County does lead 1-0 against the 5th-ranked team in Prep Baseball, Georgia's Power 25. You'll see John Stutzer here in a moment.
I couldn't imagine, you know, being, you know, guys of that caliber. You know, everybody knows you're the guy on your roster, so they expect a lot out of you. But, you know, there's a fine line between being aggressive and too aggressive, and just having to, you know, hit pitches when you get them, honestly.
Bloop single for Harrison against Mountain View, and sorry, we just saw John Stutzer coming off the field there as Pope's now going to step back out into the field. Yeah, I think it really makes these guys long for the travel season, right? It's like once you get into those lineups, you can't be pitched around.
Yeah,
you know,
you can't pitch around 7 guys.
Yeah.
You know, in the summer circuit, just with how most teams, you know, with guys of that caliber are constructed, you can't just, you know, all right, here's 4 breaking balls. I'm going to get the next guy, because the next guy's a Power 5 guy too.
That's right. And I was most certainly getting away ahead of myself there, because we bounce around so many games. We now do have Franklin County in the field for the first time, so John Stutzer, the Florida State signee, will lead things off for the Pope Greyhounds. Really unique opportunity for us, too. I mean, we think about getting to see the #1 player in the state in Peoples in this time slot, the 3rd-ranked player in Stutzer, and the 4th-ranked player in Josh Gibbs.
We've got a home run there in the bottom left for,
That's Kell.
That's Kell.
Second home run of this broadcast. technically third because we saw Chubb go yard as well. So we got to have this Mountain View Harrison game get on board with us as well.
Yeah, we got to get somebody to go deep in this one. Yeah, just being around the ballpark today, a lot of the pro scouts in attendance. You know, being able to see this many guys in, you know, one place without having to, you know, bounce back and forth or drive. So a big presence for those guys here throughout this early morning into the afternoon.
Yeah, saw some of the same faces I saw at Super 60. Scouting guys saw some from the Diamondbacks, Toronto Blue Jays. So yeah, definitely taking advantage of this opportunity to see the level of talent that we have across all 8 fields this weekend. Nick Yarborough steps to the plate for Harrison. Actually, I think he's in the on-deck circle. I think the scoreboard might be a little bit off. I think we had Xavier Hill that was now standing at first base for Harrison. All right, here is John Stutzer stepping to the plate for Pope in this matchup against Franklin County. First pitch ropes that one, 102.5 off his bat. That's into left center for a base hit for Stutzer. The Stars are showing out here in this time slot.
Just talking about it, looks like he got a fastball to hit there and did not miss it. Turning that one around at 102.5.
Evan Brand down there taking his warm-up pitches for Kell as he's out for another inning of work. A 2-2 ball game.
See if Stutzer might be on the move here.
Oh yeah, he's running. You give that guy a sliver, he's gone.
Yeah, with a lefty on the mound, probably going to go first movement. So.
Yep, stepping off.
Granted, he has speed that I don't understand, so us slower people just had to hope and pray he could probably wait a little bit.
That's right. We're bringing you Flowery Branch and McEachern. McEachern up 4-0 over Flowery Branch, and that one he got 6 hits so far, and that one's in the 5th inning. That game is just cooking along. Meanwhile, we're still in the 1st in Franklin County and Pope. End of 3 in Mountain View Harrison. Mountain View up 2-0. So I know you had your eyes locked on the Georgia game last night. How did everything go from the family perspective?
It's good. You know, first college start was you could tell he was a little nervous early on. 3rd at bat, as they say at Georgia, fed the trees with his first collegiate hit and homer. So a good little birthday present for him there to kind of, you know, kickstart that college career. So you know, family group texts were blowing up when that ball, you know, cleared the left field or left center fence. So you know, it all worked out pretty well. So everybody was excited.
See if Stutzer is going to be on the move. 3-1 count. There he goes, taking off for second. And there'll be no throw as runner's going to head down to first with the walk. So Stutzer just got his laps in for the day.
Yeah, just making sure the speed's still
That's
there.
right. Yeah, legs still work, and he's now standing at second base. Pope tries to answer Tai Peoples' home run in the top of the inning.
Really impressive what we've been able to see for some arms here, you know, early today in the cold weather. You know, a lot of guys up to those low to mid 90s, so kind of seen that around the ballpark a good bit today. So a lot of guys loose here early on in the season.
Yeah, you always wonder early on in the year what's going to be ahead. Is it going to be the pitching? Is it going to be the hitting? I think we have those same conversations when it comes to the major league guys.
Looks like we'll have a conversation here with Franklin and Pope about looks like we had a balk called.
Well, speaking of umpires, I'm not sure if you saw about the automated automated ball strike system that MLB is going to get a look at here this spring. It's going to, excuse me, it's going to, not another coughing fit. I'm going to avoid one on this broadcast.
It's me. It's me, it's not you.
But this the automated ball strike system, we're going to get our first look at it Thursday during the Dodgers-Cubs game. It'll be really interesting. The guys are going to get 2 chances per game to challenge the play. If you don't, if you win it, you get another challenge later on. But I do wonder like how aggressive guys are going to be, because I heard Freddie Freeman saying, "Look, there's guys in this lineup I know are going to want to use them both themselves." I mean, it's going to be an interesting thing to watch.
And I think that's a good thing as long as you keep it kind of.
Oh, got it.
We're good.
Yep.
Don't know how many tennis fans we have. Like tennis keeps it quick, and it's doesn't really interfere with the flow of the game. So if it's quick, I'm all for it. I just don't. You don't want to get our token NBA reference here, but you can't have it be like the NBA where every replay takes 5 minutes and you have to go to commercial and then you come back and then we still don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It just kind of clogs things up. But if it's a quick, efficient process, kind of what it looked like in the minor leagues last year, I think that's a win-win for everybody. I'd be very interesting to end the game that way, but.
I had a sacrifice ground out in the Pope Franklin County game, but we're all notched up at 1-1 now in that one. A couple of points I read in an article in The Athletic about it this morning is the fact that we all look at that rectangular box on screen. We've kind of gotten all accustomed to that being the strike zone. But the article was saying that's not really the strike zone from what an umpire is looking at. It's more oval shaped than it is the square that we see. But the computer is going to read it out off of what is technically the strike zone. So a pitch that's up and in, that's away and up, may not get called a strike from the computer, but it would get called that from the umpire. So they said there's going to be kind of a learning curve for these players because they've kind of gotten used to over their playing career what they think is a strike, but then the reality, and then obviously, in a situation where it's a 3-0 count, the zone expands.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the case when you're asking a computer to say, cut and dry, black and white, what's a strike. So I think it's going to be a really interesting process to watch to see. Because, look, if they're getting it at the spring training level, it's coming. Whether it comes in 2025, 26, 27, maybe they wait until the next collective bargaining agreement expires here in a couple years. It's going to be here, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how these players adapt to it.
Yeah, an instance that I kind of think back to, what is it, 2018, 19, when Acuna hits the grand slam against the Dodgers in the division series, the 3-0 count, they throw a ball that it's not a strike in any realm of the imagination according to the box on the screen. He gets a called strike, and the next pitch he hits a grand slam. In that case, does Acuna like, hey, that's not a strike? It turns into 1 run. Next thing you got a double play ball. You're out of the inning. It's one of those things where it's like, like you said, it's going to be interesting to see how many, if you keep it at 2, if you win 1, you get a third. It'll be interesting to see how teams do it. I'm sure there's some analytics guys in every front office that can tell you, hey, this is when you need to do it, almost like going for it in the NFL. Like, hey, this is the time to use it. Use it now. I'm sure you won't see a lot of those in the first, second, third, fourth innings. Save those for the later half of the ball games where, where games are won and lost. So it'll be interesting to see how teams implement it.
Yeah, the article I was reading said that they expect some managers are going to tell their first 2 hitters one game, like, you guys got them this game, and then kind of move down the line as opposed to just making it freewheeling. Now, the pitcher, catcher, and hitter are all going to have the ability to be the ones that challenge the calls, but the article was saying that the pitchers probably don't want to do that because what looks like a strike to them may not be it. So, you were a catcher, and they said, obviously you have a completely different vantage point of where a ball is crossing the plate. Those should be the guys. It should be the hitter and the catcher that should be doing it. The pitcher, a lot of emotion comes into it for the pitcher where they're really sure that they just got a bad call. So they said the catcher should probably be the ones that should be issuing those challenges.
Yeah, I think, most pitchers that I know think that, every pitch they throw that's remotely close, like, that's a strike. It's like, sure.
Yep.
That makes you feel better. Go for it.
Well, they're all going to have access, though, to an iPad during games that's going to show them what the ABS system would have called on a pitch.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn before you're going out there and in issuing those challenges, you can at least go back and watch your AB, or if you're a catcher and you're wondering, was that a ball? Was that a strike? You know, you can go back between innings and kind of go back over and look things over. So they're going to kind of do baby steps with it, but I don't know if we're ever going to see it at this level of baseball, but it certainly feels like it's coming at the major leagues very, very soon.
Yeah, I think as everything technologically advances in sports, I think that's one of those things that we're definitely going to see here in the next 1 to 2 years.
2-2 is Forsyth Central and Kell. Meanwhile, Mountain View up 2-0 over Harrison. Got a new pitcher on the mound for Harrison. Is that one? As Nick Yarborough exits. See who we have on the mound in that one for Harrison. So we'll get things started with the prep baseball schedule next weekend, season opener. We obviously have another Sunday series going on this weekend, but it'll be full swing for you guys a week from now as the schedule gets started, and then we'll get a break in November.
Yep, yeah. Our 3 weeks in August where I get to enjoy my 3 weeks of summer.
Yep.
Will be fun, but I'm looking forward to it. It, like we said, kind of start the ball rolling slow here these first 2 weeks, and then, come next week, it's full downhill for the next for the next realistically 5 months. So looking forward to another good year.
Ball put in play, and Mountain View and Harrison runner taken off for home, and Mountain View's going to make it 3-0 as they continue to build on this lead against Harrison.
Double play in the Kell Forsyth Central game, a line drive to the first baseman.
Yeah, a lot for us to keep track of here, not only on these games but across campus. 4-0 still is the lead for McEachern over Flowery Branch. Chubbs Jr. 2 for 2 now in that game, 3 runs driven in. Having a nice day.
Oh, we're going to go to the safety squeeze for Mountain View to score another run.
Makes it 4-0 over Harrison.
Not the full suicide squeeze there, a little bit of a safety. So.
Rope of a single in Franklin County and Pope as that one's headed into left field, 90.4 off the bat for a base hit. That was the starting pitcher, Smith.
Mountain View, runner from second, is going to get a little too aggressive there. It'll be a double play to get Harrison out of the inning.
4-0 though is the lead for Mountain View in that one.
Ooh, bang bang play there in the Forsyth Central and Kell game at first base.
Tied up in that one as we're headed to the bottom of the 5th. Franklin County Pope game delivering though, all tied up at 1-1 in the second. We'll still have one more set of games here to play. Got one more set, right? One more after this one?
Yes. I just had to think about what time it was.
Yeah, we still have a 5:30 set of games. That's why Reiston Durham was able to join us for a while here in studio before Dacula takes on Kell.
Field 10 in general today has been kind of a fun action-packed little pool or division as they call it here at the GDC. So we had a walk-off game 1, a 4-3 ball game in game 2. So they're keeping them close and keeping them exciting down there.
Yeah, Grayson taking down Pope in game 1, and then Grayson and Carrollton in game 2. Got a 1-out walk for Franklin County. Pope. Mountain View up 4-0 over Harrison. 2-2 between Kell and Forsyth Central. 1-1 Franklin County and Pope. 89.9 off the bat for Forsyth Central. That one's all the way back to the warning track, but hauled in for the out.
A little bit warmer out. Might have saw that ball jump a little
Yep.
bit more to right center. It was weird today. We had like an hour where it was very nice and warm outside, and then all of a sudden the sun decided to go away and got cold and windy again.
Still got the sleeveless guys out there though on the mound for Pope. That's a flex in this weather.
Better them than me.
That's right. Evan Brand still on the mound in the bottom left corner for Kell into his 5th inning of work. Davis Smith pitching for Pope.
Harrison going to get a base runner there to start the inning.
Some foot traffic there on Pope and Franklin County as the thrower to first got away from the first baseman, so now going to have runners at the corners.
If you're interested in a really fun high school baseball field, Franklin County's got a good one. Field sits down in a hole with all the fans above you, so that's a fun little place to play.
You played there?
A few times. They're from my neck of the state.
Okay.
So, played a few times at that ballpark. Brent Honeywell, that's with the Dodgers now. He went to high school there. I think he's still with the Dodgers. He's bounced around a little bit. Might be with the Padres, so if I'm wrong, everybody can fact check me. Hand up.
Dribbler back to pitcher Smith. Fields it, throws to first. Now 2 outs for Franklin County. Runners at 2nd and 3rd.
Kell Forsyth Central game is just absolutely flying along. I feel like I blinked and the bottom half of the 5th was over.
All right, here comes our second look at Tai Peoples, and he's going to get intentionally walked, make his way down to first base.
Great at bat there.
Yep.
Good eye.
Yep. Didn't see a pitch he liked.
Just got to the plate, took his leg guard off, and ran to first.
All right, so base is now loaded with 2 outs in that one. Harbin now at the plate. See if Franklin County can make them pay for the intentional walk of Tai Peoples. Smith delivers. First one sent back foul.
Really good jump there by the Harrison base runner to swipe second in that game.
It's Keys Harbin at the plate for Franklin County. It's 0 for 1 so far. Going to get a lot of good looks if you're Keys Harbin hitting behind Tai Peoples in this lineup. It's in for a strike. Counts now 0-2.
You get a baseball reference of how many plate appearances he has with a guy on base in front of him. Probably a pretty good percentage.
That's right. Walk for Harrison against Mountain View. Another inning round to the 6th there. Forsyth Central and Kell swing and a miss, goes down on strikes. Pope's able to get out of it. Franklin County leaves the bases loaded, and that one's still 1-1. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with more action from our Georgia Dugout Club watch party.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Back at it for our Georgia Dugout Club tournament watch party. Cory McCartney, Avery Hunt with you. Ben Hill now at the plate for Pope, and that one all tied up at 1-1 against Franklin County. Ben Hill came through with an RBI double last night for Pope in their matchup against Carrollton Trojans. Pope able to get out of that one with a victory. Meanwhile, Kell and Forsyth Central still tied at 2-2. That one in the 6th inning. Mountain View leads Harrison 4-0 in the 4th. 2-0 is the count to Hill. 25th ranked left-handed pitcher in Georgia, 301 overall in 2026, sends that one back foul. Hamby on the mound for Forsyth Central. He's facing off against Simmons from Kell.
Stop there behind the plate by the Mountain View catcher to keep the runner at first.
Zachary Simmons at the plate for Kell, 23rd ranked outfielder in Georgia, 92 overall in the class. Got an exit velos 103.1 for that 2025. 6'3", 194-pounder. Runner's taken off for second is off the wild pitch from Forsyth Central. Now a runner in scoring position for Simmons.
Harrison trying to get something started here with 2 outs. That runner's on first and second following that hard hit ball up the middle.
And Reardon at the plate right now for Harrison. They've been out hit 4-3. Thompson on the mound for Mountain View delivers. That one's going to miss high. Ben Hill standing at first base for Pope in that one. Runner taken off. He puts that in play. No, that's going to end the inning, actually. It's now 4-0. Mountain View as that one's moving on to the 5th inning.
Big strikeout there for the Forsyth Central.
Jensen Morneau now at the plate for Pope, and that one against Franklin County. Runner at first, nobody out. Ben Hill taking off for second. The throw is in time, and they got him at second base. Peoples making his way back to center field as he cut across our camera. So I talked to Ty for a little while, as I mentioned pregame. He's put on some weight, up to around 180 now for the #1 ranked outfielder in the nation in 25.
It'll be fun to see him kind of progress and,
Yep.
you know, get bigger as he, you know, gets older, whether that be at the collegiate level or the pro level. You see how much more, you know, power he can add to that offensive approach.
Athletic throw from the shortstop for Franklin County, and now going to be 2 down in that inning. Yeah, I think with the makeup, the approach, you know, the mentality, I have a hard time believing Tai Peoples is going to step on campus in Athens, but we will see. You know, I think you look at the MLB draft sometimes and you just anticipate, oh, yeah, that guy's good. He's going to be – we'll never see him on a college. I thought the same thing about Drew Burris.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, coming out of Houston County. And, you know, whatever he had in mind about the MLB draft, the team wasn't willing to either hit that number, or he just had the word he wanted to be at Georgia Tech, and he shows up day 1 for the Yellow Jackets and just put on an absolute show last year.
Yeah, he had a pretty good freshman year.
Yeah.
Just a little nice freshman year. But yeah, there's a lot of guys, especially in the NIL era, you know, those top Power 5 schools that, you know, they're going to, you know, the decision used to be money versus going to college, and now it's like, maybe the college guys can supplement you a little bit better, and you know, you might not be riding around on a bus in random parts of America
That's right.
for the first, you know, the next 3 years of your life until you get, you know, the call up to the big leagues.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you hear about those long bus rides through some of those single A, low A. You know, that's a tough life for those players. I mean, certainly the signing bonus is great, but you can go to a college campus and live like a king for a couple years. Nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah. Get some NIL money, live for free, and, you know, play baseball. So.
Ball gets away from the third baseman for Harrison, so Mountain View going to have a single to start off the 5th. Hey, that's why Carson Beck's going back to college for another year, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that one. That he was going to make more money in the NIL market than he was in the pro market.
That's
anyway.
right. Franklin County shortstop throw is a stretch at first, and able to get out of that one. Still 1-1, Franklin County and Pope, as that one's headed on to the 3rd inning.
Speaking of Mr. Beck, he had a fun week I saw in the news cycle. Had some cars get stolen in Miami yesterday or the day before. So, sure, he's had an interesting week nonetheless when 2 really expensive cars disappear.
Well, he's got to get the NIL deal with a car dealer then.
I know. Get a personal security, some guy to stand in front of the Lambo
There you go.
truck.
Yep.
It's interesting, especially with some of those guys, you know, in the college football realm that might be a round 3 or 4 pick, and it's like, I could go fight for a spot in training camp, or I could go to college for a year and get $1 million, $2 million a year to do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, really, I mean, I know it's been said before, but this is truly like the players' rights era. You know, I mean, it's changing everywhere.
100.3 single there for lead the inning off for Kell, or excuse me, for Forsyth Central.
See who was responsible for that. That was actually Josh Gibbs. Oh, we missed a Josh Gibbs AB as he comes through with another hard hit ball.
He jumped on that first pitch there and lined it to left. And we'll at 100 miles an hour. So.
Well, the stars keep shining here during this time slot. Gibbs with a 80-mile-an-hour infield single in his first AB, or his second AB of the game, and now his 3rd AB results in another hit as he's now standing at first. Roach now at the plate.
Good start of the inning for Forsyth Central. See if we'll see Gibbs in motion here, try to swipe second. I was listening to a podcast on my way to the facility this morning, and Rick Pitino was on there, and he was talking about the NIL structure. He said it's a lot like European basketball, where it's like 2 years is a big contract, and you just kind of sign guys year by year, and they're basically 1-year contracts at the collegiate level, and they're they're basically professional athletes at this point. So I was like, I've never thought about that. Granted, I'm not heavily involved in the European basketball scene, but I thought it was an interesting take from him this morning.
You wonder if there's coaches who are going to be like, I just want to coach, and it's going to end up moving them to lower levels.
Yeah.
You know, if guys are like, I don't want the headaches. You know, obviously we heard Nick Saban talking a lot about that. You know, when he was making his exit, that you're having to recruit guys every year, and then dealing with the whole space with NIL. If some of these guys are going to be like, I'll go coach at D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO, just so I can kind of avoid that stuff and just actually be a teacher again. It's going to be fascinating to watch what happens to some of these coaches, or they're just going to be like, might as well just go all in and go to the NBA.
Yeah, just go to the professional ranks and just do it that way. Some of the deals these collegiate coaches are getting monetary-wise is, it's hard to turn that down. I would think, but.
Well, the only thing better than being a highly paid college coach is being a highly paid college coach who gets paid to go away.
Yeah, dude, that's the best job in America, the fired college football coach.
Get to buy out and go home.
Oh, just sit on the lake,
get
my money, and don't have to deal with NIL, don't have to deal with boosters, and just go live the life.
Foul that one off in Franklin County and Pope. Mountain View still clinging to a 4-0 lead over Harrison.
I don't know what it is. It seems like during high school baseball, the between innings is much faster. And I don't know, compared to the summer circuit, and I don't know the correlation there, but it seems like they get in and get out.
Well, it's a lot of the same umpires, right, that we have during the summertime. So you think it's not as though it's anything different.
I'm looking out there, and I think, in the 3 screens we got, the 6 guys, I think 5 of them work for us during the summer. So
maybe we'll have to get them to play by GHSA rules during the summertime, then we can speed these games up a little bit.
Absolutely. I know the college level now, it's just a clock. It's like, all right, you got this long between innings. It's not 8 pitches. It's not 5 pitches. You throw for this allotted amount of time, and when that time's up, get in the box and let's go.
Well, maybe you should just throw some clocks down there, and whether or not we're really adhering to it, maybe we'll make them fearful that we are.
Yeah. Put it up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's right.
90-second countdown.
Yep.
Forsyth Central here, 1st and 2nd, nobody out, trying to advance runners with a little sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, that one's in the 6th. Obviously, Mountain View and Harrison in the 5th, and Franklin County Pope trying to catch up. That one got started a lot later as Carrollton and Grayson, I believe, played before this one. That one went a little longer. Oh, the throw over to the 3rd, a little high, dangerous throw there in the Kell Forsyth Central game from Simmons.
Yeah, tried to get the lead runner there, and just ball got stuck in his glove and couldn't get it out.
Base is now loaded for Forsyth Central. See Simmons, the first baseman, coming a little bit closer than the grass.
Looks like Kell will go infield in here, trying to cut down that runner from 3rd. Nobody out, and the base is loaded.
Rope over the 3rd baseman's head for Franklin County, and they're going to have a runner on base to start off, a second runner there, excuse me, in the 3rd. So they got him at 1st and 2nd now. Beasley now at the plate for Franklin County.
Harrison going to get a base runner there on the little floater to right field, 61 off the bat, but there's no pictures on the scorecard. Single's a single.
Long at the plate now for Forsyth Central. Bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. Is Denton Long now at the plate for Forsyth Central 2025. He's got a 1-2 count. Forsyth Central with a chance to potentially blow that game open.
A ball in the gap there makes that a 3-run ball game quickly.
Brand still on the mound for Kell in his 6th inning of work. Gets a swing and the miss for the strikeout of Denton.
It's a big strikeout there to get the first out of the inning with the bases loaded. Now you're a ground ball away from getting out of that inning.
2026 Ty Cannon now at the plate. 5'6", 160-pounder.
Forsyth Central here just trying to hit something hard, hit it in the air to the outfield, score that go-ahead run in the bottom of the 6th.
Franklin County still looking to get that second run. Nobody out, runners on. Another runner taken off in a 3-ball count in Harrison and Mountain View. He's a sprint down to second base for no reason.
Pope going to get the first out of the inning there on a strikeout.
All right, Brand delivers down at Kell and Forsyth Central. Count's not going to be 2-0. Again, bases are loaded for Forsyth Central. Brand's thrown 88 pitches as he sits here in the 6th inning. That one back up the middle for Harrison. Goes over to second base, but unable to get the runner. Now a run's going to score for Harrison. Now it's going to be 4-1.
Got a bad flip there up the middle for Mountain View. Is going to allow Harrison to score their first run.
Fouled off, and Kell and Forsyth Central counts now 2-2. Bases still loaded with 1 out.
Got a conference with the officials here.
Not quite sure what the reasoning for that was in Franklin County and Pope. That one's still 1-1 in the 3rd. Franklin County threatening. Oh, there's a rope into center field on the run for Forsyth Central.
Oh.
It's caught, but the runner did not tag up from 3rd and take off. Guess it just was not deep enough, so now 2 out. The moment Forsyth Central might want back, holding the runner at 3rd. Ross now at the plate for Forsyth Central. Definitely don't want to leave the bases loaded here in the 6th.
Really good job by Brand here, fighting back, bases loaded, nobody out to get the next guy on a strikeout and then get a line out to the center fielder that wasn't deep enough for a tag. So, really impressive by him.
With a lineup change for Franklin County. Here we go. Ross at the plate for Forsyth Central. Evan Brand. Pitch number 91 upcoming for the right-hander. First baseman has it, flips to Brand, and they're going to get out of it. Forsyth Central leaves the bases loaded. Man, they're going to want that moment back, especially that fly out to center field. Opportunity to try to score on the tag up. Was not deep enough, and that one still sets at 2-2 headed on to the 7th inning. All right, we're going to take another quick break. Avery Hunt, man, great job as always. We'll see you back real soon.
Absolutely.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
back.
All right,
I'm
we're back. Grayson Rosen's back here in studio, trying to catch up on everything happening across campus here as we're, again, in the last day of action in these 2 weeks of the Georgia Dugout Club tournament. Franklin County now has a 3-1 lead over Pope. Saw action resume in the Kell and Forsyth Central game as a call was overturned, but Forsyth Central did strand the bases loaded as that one still sits at 2-2. Meanwhile, Mountain View with a 4-1 lead over Harrison. That one is in the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, Josh Gibbs earlier this morning mentioned that he was going to be pitching in game 2, so here he is taking the mound.
Logan Arnett on the mound for Harrison.
Familiar name.
Yeah, we've seen Logan quite a bit here, playing for multiple teams, Aviators, Dingers.
He's got a bad passed ball there in Franklin County. Pope that advances a runner.
Arnett gets a strikeout in the outside corner. That went at 87.8 for the first out. Franklin County Pope moving along as that one got started way late, but that one is now in the top of the 3rd inning. Hamby now pitching for Forsyth Central on that one. You can see McDevitt at the plate for Kell. That one's in the top of the 7th. Go back to that bases loaded moment with a runner, ball hit into center field, and the runner did not tag up for Forsyth Central and make a sprint for home. I'm sure that's a moment Forsyth Central is going to want back as they end up stranding the bases there in the 6th.
Yeah, now you're relying on Josh Gibbs here to pitch for you in the top of the 7th and make something happen. It looks like maybe they put in the wrong name there on the box.
Yeah, I didn't realize Gibbs was now out on the mound now for Forsyth Central, so we'll see what the Georgia signee has in store here on the top of the 7th, trying to keep this a 2-2 ball game and give his team a chance to try to walk it off in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, not a lot of people looking at Gibbs to be a pitcher, but gets a velo up there in the high 80s. I think he's tapped 90 before.
Yeah, we got him.
It's a strikeout right there.
Kind of sitting around 86. Also got a curveball around 69 miles an hour.
We've already seen him hit 88 in this game. So it brings him 1 out.
Yeah, 89.
Miss, but it was 89.
Yeah, wow. Nice to have that in your back pocket as a primary shortstop.
It's interesting to see how fast he moves when he does his delivery here.
Another 89.8.
About to tap 90.
Stutzer has it for Pope, throws over to first for the out. Get out of that one. Franklin County, though, leads 3-1 as that one's headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning. One out for Logan Arnett.
So he must not have liked that one. Just stepped off the rubber and turned that one in.
Swing and a miss at 87.6 out of the hands of Gibbs. 0-1's the count there. That one again in the top of the 7th inning.
Oh, that one's lined out hard to center field. It's going to drop in for the single.
77.6 off his bat. Davenport comes through with a 1-out single for Kell. .9 for Arnett as that one's fouled back.
I fouled that one off the hands there. Good pitch to back him off the plate by Arnett.
So a runner at first for Kell. Marino now at the plate. That's in for strike 75.7.
That was a beautiful curveball. Good late movement.
The velo numbers on the Josh Gibbs Prep Baseball profile need updated.
Yeah, I think
goes back to it. Another
man.
Curveball. That one at 76.3.
That thing's pretty. Obviously, if you throw it a little too high, you might hang it in there, but looks real good, especially when you think about the about 12-mile-an-hour difference between that and the fastball.
3 straight curveballs. That one's going to miss.
Got
Counts
that
down 2-1.
Thought he might have had that one for the strikeout, but we'll go back at it.
Gibbs, without question, a fast worker on the mound for Forsyth Central. Goes back to it again. Gets himself a strikeout. The scoreboard wasn't correct. It's the second out is a K for Gibbs.
I think that was the changeup too. That was nasty.
Yeah, 80.4. So now 2 down. Kell with the runner at first. Gets away from the catcher. Runner taken off.
Back pick.
So runner will remain at first with 2 outs. Counts 1-0. Pope trying to get something started here against Franklin County in the bottom of the 3rd. Ben Hill drives that one into center field, and that will be hauled in for an out by Tai Peoples.
Well struck there by Ben Hill. 89.7 off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it after the home run from Tai Peoples. I mean, we saw John Stutzer come through with a hard hit ball. We've seen Gibbs do the same and out on the mound. And when we've seen the names that you were coming to this broadcast for, those top flight players in Georgia, those guys absolutely delivering here on a Saturday afternoon.
I mean, Gibbs sitting at 89 pretty consistently right now up on the mound.
Yeah, but the only big name that we haven't seen during this window is Dom Stevenson for Harrison. Looks like he's getting this time slot off in this matchup with Mountain View.
Yeah, they just got out of that inning. Good work by Arnett on the mound, so they're going to head into the bottom of the 6th.
So Stevenson is now in the game. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Just not playing behind the plate right now for Harrison.
Gibbs, 89.6. Batter fouls it off and then hits off his own shoulder. Looked like the catcher just tried to pick that ball up and throw it behind his back to Josh Gibbs, and it just went horribly wrong. Not really sure what the conversation is here. I think they're trying to say that Gibbs is balking, maybe?
He's got a 2-2 count. Whatever he's looking for, Gibbs is miming it back to him.
I think he's got a hitch in his when he lifts his leg. He's got a hitch, but he does it every time, so you can't really call it balk.
Yeah, not trying to deceive the base runner. He certainly comes rested, but yeah, that one's sails on him. Yep. It's probably got him thinking about it now.
Yeah.
Whatever, he's smiling back. Gibbs with the 3-2. That one's going to bounce in front of the catcher, so there's now going to be 2 base runners for Kell on that one. Bottoms now stepping to the plate for Kell with 2 on and 2 out. So Gibbs can get his way out of this. He's already got 2 outs, got himself a nifty looking strikeout, a few breaking balls and a changeup. Right down the middle at 88.4 to start things off against Bottoms.
This Harrison offense about to get things started, try and bring it back down 3 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. High fly out there, caught by the shortstop for Harrison County, or sorry, for Franklin County. And Pope still a runner on first, 2 outs, looking to come back after giving up those runs. It looks like Kell just took the lead in a single off of Josh Gibbs. 95.4 off the bat.
All right, so Bottoms comes through with the RBI single for Kell.
That could be huge. Taking a late lead here, top of the 7th, 2 outs. That's clutch hitting right there. Runner advances to second there for Pope.
Yeah, looks like the ball got away from the second baseman, went into right field. Tanner Morneau at the plate for Pope in that one, trying to eat into this 3-1 lead for Franklin County. Gibbs down the middle for a strike at 78.8. Morneau going to be followed by Drew Abney in the Pope order. Stutzer at second base, you know he's itching to go.
That would have been the one to go on. Only 70 miles per hour.
Gibbs now got a 3-0 count. Breddy at the plate now for Kell. I believe the scoreboard's just not updating.
Yeah. Seems like those Bach allegations are getting in Gibbs' head here.
Yep. Breddy puts this one in play. Dribbler to the second baseman. Gathers throws in time to end the inning, but Kell has taken a 3-2 lead over Forsyth Central as that one's headed to the bottom of the 7th. Meanwhile, Franklin County up 3-1 over Pope. Mountain View leads Harrison 4-1 in the 6th.
Big spot here, full count, 1 out, bottom of the 6th for Harrison. Trying to get a base runner.
Hudson at the plate. They did indeed get themselves a base runner with that 1-out walk.
Great play there by Franklin County. Get out of that inning, getting that ground out.
Well, they've got a 3-1 lead as that one's headed to the 4th. Pitching change for Kell after Evan Brand pitched 6 innings. To get some intel on who's now pitching for Kell. They're going to try to get out of here with a 3-2 victory over Forsyth Central.
And some score updates from all the games here in this slate. You got over on Field 9, Wayne County up 2-0 now in Loganville, top of the 7th. So Loganville in their last chance here to make something happen. And then Field 13, things are wrapped up. Marietta gets the win 6-3 over Campbell. Field 14, they've wrapped up as well. 4-0 win for McEachern there. And on Field 15, Dawson County up 9-0 over Paulding County in the bottom of the 4th. And then on Field 16, Cambridge, a 7-5 lead in the bottom of the 5th over Bremen.
Yeah, apologies. We had efforted to bring you Loganville and Wayne County among these games during this watch party, but the camera system on that field not cooperating. It just wasn't up to snuff for us to be able to use it during this stream, so we apologize for that. Marino now pitching for Kell. They're going to try to hold down this 3-2 lead.
Ball on the ground there for Harrison. Big throw, doesn't make it in time. Harrison now got 2 base runners here. These tying runs coming to the plate in the bottom of the 6th with just 1 out.
Ben Hill takes the mound now for Pope.
Forsyth Central down 1 run, bottom of the 7th, getting things started here. They'll try and mount this comeback and avoid an 0-for-2 day.
First pitch swing at 80.1 off his bat. Center fielder gathers it for the first out.
It's definitely one you want back a little bit. Got under it quite a bit and sent it out there. If you get that back again, you maybe barrel that up.
Yeah, that was Barr lining out to center field.
I mentioned Ben Hill taking the mound for Pope. He's got an interesting delivery. Left-handed pitcher, not necessarily lighting up the radar gun, but very interesting arm angle.
Yeah, kind of a 3/4 angle there. Two-0 count for Forsyth Central with 1 out, trying to get themselves a base runner and work their way back, trailing 3-2 to Kell. Comes Tai Peoples going up against Ben Hill now with 1 out in the top of the 4th. See if we got some more magic from Peoples. We were able to call his first home run of the season in the opening inning of that one. And for a strike.
It's a good pitch right there.
Sends that one foul. The Hill is listed as the 25th ranked left-handed pitcher in Georgia, 301 overall. Fastball up towards 81. See, he challenges Peoples with a fastball. Counts now 2-2.
Forsyth Central just got their first base runner here with 1 out, so trying to tie things up, and now Josh Gibbs is about to come to the plate, so certainly the guy that you want to call.
That feels like an intentional walk waiting to happen.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tai Peoples goes down on strikes. Great breaking ball right there from Hill.
A big opportunity here for Georgia, signing Josh Gibbs with 1 out in the 7th, his team down 3-2. No ball onto the field from one of the other games going on right now, so we'll have another moment before Gibbs steps in. Right now, here he goes.
There we go. Ben Hill just barely missed the zone there.
First pitch breaking ball in for a strike against Gibbs. Comes the 0-1. That's going to bounce in front of the catcher. Counts now 1-1 to Gibbs.
Up in the top right, Harrison still trying to make things happen here. Just 1 out. Top left, Pope gets out of the inning unscathed, so still going to be 3-1 Franklin County as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
Here comes the 1-1 to Gibbs. It's out in play. Second baseman has it to second for 1 out. The throw to first in time, and Kell able to slam the door, get themselves a 3-2 victory over Forsyth Central as Josh Gibbs grounds out to end that one.
Why does it look like they're not done?
Well, I thought we believed that the third run had crossed the plate for Kell.
I thought we had a
The
third
scoreboard just did not update. But it looks as though that one will march on to the bottom of the, onto the 8th inning.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. When I walked in, Forsyth Central had 3 runs, but Kell scored that 3rd run. Not sure what happened here, but.
Well, they will play on, it looks like.
The umpire's looking over his scorecard.
See if Josh Gibbs takes the mound for another inning of work.
Looks like they'll make it.
All right, they're going to make a pitching change, so Gibbs is out of this one.
Harrison scored another run, or their first run of the inning. So now just a 2-run deficit with 1 out. Harrison looking to make some noise here late.
Drew Abney coming to the plate for Pope, trailing 3-1 to Franklin County. Roach is the new pitcher on the mound for Forsyth Central.
We got a final score over on field 9. Loganville does go down 2-0 to Wayne County.
Big win for Wayne County over a perennial power here in the state of Loganville. Would love to know in that Kell Forsyth Central what happened where that run did not count for Kell, because certainly to our eyes they had taken a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused on where we might have missed something in this game. I mean, you had 2 runs by Forsyth Central to start this game. It's the only 2 runs they've scored. And then from what we see, Kell scored 1 run in the 3rd, 1 run in the 4th. We thought they scored that run in the top of the 7th, but I guess we were wrong.
Well, Stridham at the plate now for Pope with 1 out. Zachary Simmons going to start things off for Kell, 23rd ranked outfielder in Georgia and 2592 overall in the class. Mentioned in his last AB, exit velos north of 103 with a bat speed of 76.3. This guy can absolutely do some damage for the Longhorns. First pitch is a strike from Roach. One out walk for Harrison.
Scores another run.
Scores another run. So that one now sits at 4-3 in the bottom of the 6th.
And we'll get a pitching change there.
All right, so pitching change for Mountain View in a 1-run ball game. Punch out in Franklin County and Pope, so now 2 down for Pope in the inning.
Big swing and a miss.
Yeah,
right
Simmons goes down on strikes for Kell, so now 1 out. Gibbs was the last out for Forsyth Central, so Roach, they'll go H. Roach, D. Roach to start things off here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and then Cannon. Through 4 in Franklin County and Pope. Franklin County up 3-1. Just 1 game currently underway with the pitching change in Mountain View Harrison.
Yeah, it'll be Alex Ellenbach when they come back here. And then after him is Dom Stevenson. Oh, 95.6 off the bat. Just barely gets past Josh Gibbs' diving attempt there at short.
So Kell in business now with 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Hillman now steps to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day. Ben Hill back on the mound for Pope, getting his last warm-up pitches in. 1-0 starts off the AB for Hillman.
Looks like we're about to get back underway here. Bases loaded, 1 out for Harrison. Down 1 run in the bottom of the 6th. Alex Ellenbach coming to the plate.
Right on to the 5th inning there in Franklin County and Pope now as we'll get that one underway. 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning for Kell and Forsyth Central. Runner at first for Kell. McDevitt now at the plate for Kell with 2 down. Things starting to get really interesting here in all these games. Mountain View was cruising along, but Harrison very much in business with the bases loaded. And one sent foul.
And the biggest thing right now for Harrison is just avoid a double play. I mean, even if you put something on the ground, you got to leg whatever you can out and try and not get 2 outs here in any way possible and just try and at least tie this game up. It's been probably their best offensive showing at any point in this game.
Well, misses outside, count is now 1-2. Strike down the middle for Forsyth Central in that matchup with Kell. Counts now 2-1. Ben Hill's got himself a 1-2 count against Franklin County. He's facing Gibson. Swings and a miss. Ben Hill gives himself a strikeout.
Fired up out there on the mound.
Yep. For good reason. Now 1 out there in the 5th.
Kell's still trying to keep themselves alive here in the top of the 8th. Runner on first, 2 outs. 2-1 count.
Gailey is now at the plate. He's 1 for 1.
Outside.
Oh, excuse me, that's McDevitt. Gailey is at the plate right now for Franklin County, facing off against post Ben Hill.
3-1 count for Kell.
Sends that one back foul in the Kell Forsyth game. That one's in play. Third baseman from Pope throws on the run.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice play for the second out.
Yeah, absolutely great play right there at third base. Storming in down the line.
This is Beasley now at the plate for Franklin County.
Ball to Stutzer. Plays it. Got it in time.
All right, so they'll get through that one. Franklin County still leading Pope 3-1 as that one's headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. Kell and Forsyth Central in the top of the 8th. Runner's taken off. That one's going down the left side. Left fielder on the run or in foul territory. Makes the catch. So Kell strands a runner. Forsyth Central a chance to walk it off as that one's headed to the bottom of the 8th. Still 4-3 Mountain View.
We had an out, so now Dom Stevenson coming up to the plate for Harrison with 2 outs and the bases loaded, needing 1 run to tie this game up.
And the Georgia Tech signee, big opportunity here for Harrison without question. Quick pitch. Barely gave Stevenson enough time to even step in the box before he delivered that first one for a strike. He sends that foul. Oh, 1. Stevenson holds back. Count is now even. Moorhead pitching for Franklin County has been awfully strong so far. He's allowed just 1 hit as we sit in the bottom of the 5th inning. That one misses inside. Stevenson pulls out of the way. Counts now 2-1.
Now that I can see his number, it looks like maybe the order was wrong here on our box score. I believe that might be Luke Reardon at the plate. Looks like he's running 24.
Yeah, you are indeed right. That is Luke. That is Reardon. That would mean Nick Yarbrough's in the on-deck circle. 2 more batters before we potentially see Stevenson. Counts 3-2, puts that one foul. Franklin County and Pope getting started here with the bottom of the 5th. And we've got Jensen Morneau stepping into the right side batter's box for Pope. Rolling along in the bottom of the 8th there in Forsyth Central and Kell, and that one is skied into left field. Center fielder cuts it off for the first out.
Forsyth Central just in need of something here. I mean, you had the bases loaded where you stranded all the runners, and that was really your best chance to score any runs since the first inning, and you don't capitalize on it. Now you find yourself bottom of the 8th, just in a pinch. I guess for Kell as well, I'm not sure what happened, but that run being disallowed in some capacity, obviously affecting the outcome of this game. Hard liner on the ground. Gets past the second baseman. Another run scores.
2 runs coming across the plate. The plate is not in time. Harrison now takes a 5-4 lead over Mountain View. They have stormed back to take control in that one.
That's a big error there at second base, misplaying that ball and allowing it to get into the outfield. Man. So it's one you want back. Just about everybody would want that one back. Forsyth Central 2 outs now after the ground out to the second baseman.
Ball gets away from the catcher. Runner taken off for third. Mountain View watching everything kind of fall apart for him here in the bottom of the 6th as they now trail by 2. Hudson now at the plate for Harrison. That one's in play. Shortstop has it, throws in time for the out, but Harrison has taken a 6-4 lead as that one's heading into the 7th inning.
Yeah, that was a huge offensive inning for Harrison. They really just haven't had much going for them, and then you had a couple of walks and the untimely error there at the end, but great work by Harrison to just prevail here and put some runs up on it.
Kell of Forsyth Central still marching on that one. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tucker at the plate for Forsyth Central. Moreno in relief for Kell. He's thrown 16 pitches so far. Levinson at the plate for Pope against Franklin County. Moorhead has pitched the entire game so far for Franklin County and been awfully strong. He's allowed 1 run on 1 hit. Standing tall against Prep Baseball Georgia's 5th-ranked team in the state. And we're through 8 innings now of Kell and Forsyth Central, and that game just will not end.
That ball's crushed into the gap.
Yeah,
right
94.7 from Levinson's bat. But
good work by Peoples to cut it off early.
So he'll be retired now, 1 down in the 5th. Brennan now at the plate for Pope. That the only game that we have in action here for this watch party is the other 2 in between innings.
Yeah, updates around the park here. Cambridge Bremen still 7-5. That one in the top of the 7th on field 16. We already have the final score update. Wayne County beats Loganville 2-0. And obviously our 3 games here. Then Marietta's win over Campbell 6-3. McEacher 4-0 over Flowery Branch, and Dawson County likely close to a run rule over on field 15, 15-0 in the bottom of the 5th over Paulding County.
All right, Logan Arnett back on the mound for Harrison, a chance to lock down this 6-4 win. We'll see if Mountain View can mount any kind of a charge here in the 7th. First pitch swinging, Arnett on the run, tries to cut that off.
It seemed like the catcher didn't realize it as early as Arnett did that one might have been playable.
Well, Arnett is also a catcher, so
that is fair.
Yeah, he knows you gotta take off. Moorhead delivers for Franklin County. That one's roped into center field.
Just over the second baseman.
Yep. Peoples cuts it off, but that will be a 1-out single for Pope.
We got runners on first and second. Setting up John Stutzer here. It's another spot where you can have a big moment from one of those big players that we've been talking about.
Kell and Forsyth Central in the 9th inning. Davenport at the plate for Kell. That one bounces away from him.
Mountain View, a really close one right there. He barely blooped it over second base, and the right fielder came up, made a great play on it. Tried to get him at first, didn't quite get there in time. So Mountain View leading off the inning with a single.
Conversation on the mound, and for good reason, in Franklin County and Pope. Moorhead's thrown 72 pitches thus far, and he's going to get his 3rd look at John Stutzer, who's 1 for 1 with a walk.
Well struck out into left field. That one's getting down in the corner for Mountain View. No, it goes foul. Man, that was a close one. 89 off the bat. Could have certainly scored that leading run.
A big moment for Pope here as they are going to pitch to John Stutzer here with, 2 base runners, and sends the first one into center field. 90.5 off his bat. Tai Peoples has it, throwing. Bases will be loaded now. Oh, runners at first and second. I thought we had a runner at first already for.
Yeah, we had first and second. I think that one was caught.
Okay, that one was caught by Peoples. Yeah, I thought that it dropped down. But Stutzer flies out. There'll be 2 outs in that one. 90.5 off his bat for out number 2. It's hard sometimes when we have so much going on to be able to follow, and we're following a little tiny screen. So we are actually seeing what you guys are seeing. We have a big screen here in our studio, so we're actually looking at this as that one gets to the second baseman. Franklin County has no play on it as it bounces away. Runner taken off for 3rd. We now have a 3-2 game. Franklin County clinging to a one-run lead now in their matchup with Pope.
That's some outstanding base running, rounding second immediately on that misplay at second base. That's one of those things that's a huge game changer late in these games. You just set up yourself with the tying run. Instead of being on second, you're on 3rd. 2 outs. See if we can get a little bit more clutch hitting from Pope.
1 out in Harrison and Mountain View, and that one's in the top of the 7th inning. Harrison trying to get out of this with a win. 1 out in Kell and Forsyth Central. That one in the top of the 9th.
That one's well down in the left field. And that one does land in fair territory. They're going home with it.
Oh, man, he's taken off. There will be no throw as it's held in by the shortstop. We got a 6-5 game now. Mountain View will not go silently as they've got to run across with 1 out in the 7th.
That one's hit hard out in the right, or it's left center. Peoples corrals it and gets the final out. So Franklin County does get out of it, but not unscathed. They give up the 1 run. Now just a 1-run deficit for Pope.
That one's on its way to the 6th inning. And we'll get a visit with Logan Arnett here with 1 out in the 7th between Harrison and Mountain View. Harrison up 6-5.
And if in case you were wondering, we're still rolling in Kell and Forsyth. They're not done. Top of the 9th, 1 out.
Game that will not end. Miss on the opening pitch here in that matchup. Evan Brand at the plate for Kell, facing off against Roach. Ben Hill back out for another inning for Pope. That game 3-2. 3-0 is the count to Brand in this Kell Forsyth Central matchup. A game we thought was over a while ago, but a phantom run that apparently we thought scored did not. So a 1-out walk now. So Forsyth Central feeling a little bit of pressure now as Kell's got runners at first and second with 1 out in the top of the 9th. That'll bring Bottoms to the plate. Saw him come through.
What we thought was clutch.
Yeah, what we thought was clutch. It was not. We thought he had delivered the go-ahead run in that one. We'll see if maybe he can do that here in the top of the 9th.
walk right there behind the plate for Harrison. Ever important to keep that runner away from third base here with just 1 out.
Breck is at the plate right now. He's 2 for 5 for Mountain View.
Well known for his pitching, but we'll see if he can step up in a big moment here.
He's got a 3-0 count in a 1-run game in the top of the 7th with 1 out.
It's like a crazy prediction to say he's not going to swing.
He doesn't. He'll make his way down to first with a 1-out walk. All right, Bottom steps in for Kell. 2 runners on, 1 out in the top of the 9th. Roach glances back at the runner, delivers. That's going to make it a 2-0 count. So that's going to be it for Logan Arnett in that one. So he's going to exit, the freshman does, and now be a pitching change for Harrison, trying to get out of this and salvage a 1-run win over Mountain View. But Mountain View is not going quietly as they've got runners on base.
Extremely difficult scenario here. Runners on first and second, up 1. You need 2 outs to finish this game, so long as you don't give up any runs.
Bottom swinging that one, 90.7 off his bat. That's headed into right field, and it will be hauled in for the out. So he catches that one. So 2 runners still on with now 2 outs for Kell on the top of the 9th.
That's a great catch to make. It's a tough one with it coming off the bat that hot to range back like that and make that catch. But that's a clutch moment there defensively from Forsyth Central.
Brady steps to the plate now, 0 for 3. Ben Hill gets the punch out for Pope. Now 2 out in the top of the 6th.
That's a great pitch right there. He's looking real good since he's coming in relief.
Give you some intel on our new pitcher for Harrison momentarily. It's going to be Evan Brackett will be on the mound now for Harrison. As we all scramble to bring up his prep baseball profile. He's up to 86 at the plate, but we'll now see him on the mound where he's got a fastball around 83, a changeup 71 to 73, and a curveball that's set 66 to 70. Plays his travel ball for Knights baseball, 6'1", 170-pound righty.
Score update in limbo here. A 10-5 lead now for Cambridge over Brennan on field 16, bottom of the 7th. So Brennan on their last chances here. And then Dawson County up 15-3 now in the bottom of the 5th. So Paulding County still trying to avoid a run rule. They would still need 2 more.
Kell and Forsyth Central now headed to the bottom of the 9th inning.
This is where the legends are made.
That's right.
You wouldn't typically expect it in a high school game to be in the bottom of the 9th, but just so happens we found ourselves here.
Hill's got an 0-1 count facing off against Dodd in that Franklin County Pope game. .02 count in Harrison and Mountain View. Spikes that one, makes it 1-2. Marino back out to pitch for Kell. It's like Ty Cannon will start things off for Forsyth Central. He'll be followed by Russell.
Harrison, big swing and a miss for that second out. Great breaking ball there. And now Harrison looking to close things out here in the top of the 7th. 2 outs, 2 runners on for Mountain View. Both teams looking to make a big statement here in this game.
Claiborne at the plate now for Mountain View. First pitch to him is in for a ball. Trying to write a conclusion here in Kell and Forsyth at the bottom of the 9th inning. We had Blessed Trinity and Walton go 9 innings last week. We didn't have extra innings last night in our premier game between Carrollton and Pope, but we are getting it here during the watch party between Kell and Forsyth Central. Game been playing so long, there's been 2 trains come through on the back there. It might have been the same. I think it's the same train. I think it was able to travel the circumference of the earth there. This game just keeps railing on.
Yeah, it took that famous railroad that crosses the Pacific Ocean.
That's right. Fly ball, it goes foul, and Kell and Forsyth Central had everybody on the run.
Yeah, I was about to say, I looked up and I was like, where did everybody go?
Yeah, everyone's hunting for an out in that game.
Yeah, pitcher, catcher, first base, 1, 2, and 3 all occupied by that foul ball that seemingly went out of play.
Counts now 2-1 with 2 outs in Mountain View and Harrison. You trying to at least push this thing to the bottom of the 7th inning. If they can get one more run across. Hits the runner, so the bases are now going to be loaded with 2 outs, and Harrison not making this easy on themselves at all.
Kell and Forsyth. Somehow we've gotten to 3-3 on the scoreboard. Not too sure where those 2 runs came from.
Huh. Well, neither team has gotten that 3rd run yet. It's actually 2-2 as third baseman has a long throw across the diamond. Will be hauled in, and we are through another inning. It's on to the 10th inning of Kell and Forsyth Central's matchup.
Never thought we were going to see double digits today. I'll say that.
What happens to the number on our scoreboard when it goes? I don't think I've ever seen.
No, I don't know if I have.
All right,
either.
Get ready, folks. It's at Kell and Forsyth Central. One flips over to 10 innings. I wonder if it'll just say 0.
I hope not.
If it doesn't say, can the number go small enough to get 1-0 on there? Folks, we're all watching this in real time to see what this is going to be like.
I mean,
this is unprecedented.
Yeah, monumental moment for us. I don't even know what to do. I need to see that number turn over and see what this looks like. Are we going to get a 10 that overlaps our overlay here? Are we going to get a 1 and a cutoff 0? Maybe half of a 1 and a full 0? A lot of options. Big hit right there. High launch angle, though. Looks like it's popped up at 95 off the bat there for Pope. It does get caught out in center field.
The saddest thing would be if it just sits at 9 because it can't go any further than 9.
Yeah, that would really upset me. I feel like that is an outcome that I wasn't thinking of, and now I'm really hoping it doesn't happen.
All right, we've got a full count in Mountain View and Harrison. I believe it was 2-2 now. Did it bounce to make it 3-2?
I think that might have made it 2-2.
Okay, that makes it 2-2. That will make it 3-2. Jones at the plate.
Huge spot here. Bases loaded, 3-2, 2 outs, top of the 7th to keep yourselves alive and potentially tie the game if you get walked here.
Big pressure pitch for Brackett. Puts that in play. Shortstop cuts it off. The throw to first.
It gets
away from it. 1-run scores for Mountain View. There goes the second one. What in the world just happened? All right, so he did catch it. Mountain View thought that it was still in play, and they had scored 2 runs. Instead, Harrison finishes it off with the throw over from the shortstop to the first baseman, finishes it off, and just absolute pandemonium. And they did call him out, so you had to have the consultation there with the umpire. They did finish it off. Mountain View, man, mounted a heck of an opportunity there to try to get that comeback, but they fall 6-5 to Harrison as that one is now wrapped.
I don't know what happened there. It looked pretty clear that the ball got past the first baseman, and you see the runner advance, and that Mountain View would have a 7-6 lead here, but something happened. I'm not sure if maybe we got an interference call by the base runner.
All right, well, that one's cashed. Meanwhile, we have the number 10 down there.
There
and that
we
one's
go.
That on the run. Center fielder's trekking. Yeah, taking off for second base.
Wow.
93.6 off the bat. And that will be caught for an out. Man, that was an absolute laser to center field, but that is caught. Kell and Forsyth Central. The score's really 2-2. We're not sure how each team got an extra run, but that one does set at 2-2. So that one's finished. So we'll put our focus on Franklin County and Pope and Kell and Forsyth Central. There's no way. So Franklin County and Pope started in about an hour late. There's no way that game is going to finish before Kell and Forsyth Central does.
So I've got the update now. These are the last 2 games still going. Pope and Franklin County, Kell and Forsyth Central, the only 2 games still going.
All right.
Kell and Forsyth Central started at 3:15. Franklin County and Pope started at 3:56.
Meanwhile, Moorhead is still pitching in this game for Franklin County. He's thrown 89 pitches, as we said, in the bottom of the 6th inning.
For Kell, they just
and we did get the switch over. You can see the number 10 now. So it did kind of just adjust
just
to the right.
A
little bit of an overlap, but we have double figures on the inning count now for the first time in my history here at LakePoint Sports.
Well, if it's the first time in yours, I think it's the first time in just about everybody's.
Yep.
We've obviously seen double digits elsewhere on our scoreboards, just not on our overlay here.
That's
on our
right.
live stream.
So Ben Hill at the plate for Pope in a 1-run ball game. That one in the 6th. Kell and Forsyth Central marches on. 2-0 count with 2 outs in the top of the 10th inning.
And those final score updates that went final while we watched the insanity that was the end of Mountain View versus Harrison. And, of course, the number changing over. But Cambridge finishes off Bremen 10-5 over on field 16. And then on field 15, Paulding County still tried to avoid that run rule. Ended up 15-4 with those 4 runs all being scored in that final inning. But Paulding County not enough. They go down by 11.
3-1 count in the top of the 10th with 2 outs as Kell's trying to get themselves a base runner. Meanwhile, Ben Hill's got himself a 2-out single for Pope as they've got a potential tying run now on the base pass, and that one in the bottom of the 6th.
And I mean, we're so far in. We've actually got 2 games that have already started up and have had runs scored. In on field 13, Marietta and North Forsyth. North Forsyth has put up a run here, up 1-0 in the bottom of the 1st. Flowery Branch and Sprayberry. Flowery Branch got the 1-0 advantage in the bottom of the 1st over on 14.
All right, with 2 outs, McDevitt steps to the plate for Kell. Runner taken off for second. The throw is going to bounce in front of the shortstop, so Kell's going to have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs now in the 10th. Jensen Moore now at the plate for Pope in that game. He's got a 1-0 count to start things off with 2 outs and a runner on at first.
Yeah, things rolling on field 9 as well now between Wayne County and Brookwood.
Roach glances back at the runner for Forsyth Central, delivers. Swing and a miss by McDevitt, counts now even at 1-1. Morneau puts that in play. Shortstop has it.
Step on second
Yes,
for that.
yeah, and that one is now going to be through 6 innings. Franklin County holding on to a 3-2 lead over Pope.
I think at this point they're just racing to finish before Kell and North.
Yeah,
Kell
well,
and Forsyth
you know who's really hating this is the team that's still has yet to play on that field behind Kell and Forsyth Central.
I mean, Carrollton in the midst of a long break, I believe. Yeah, Carrollton played in the first game of the day here and had a 2-game break, which I guess they contributed to why we're running behind. But quite a long break here for Carrollton as they await Franklin County, who's playing the back-to-back.
Yeah, we'll got Dacula and Kell is following up Forsyth Central. And so Kell's got to go back-to-back.
Yeah.
After playing an extra inning affair, yeah, and we've had, meanwhile, you know, Reiston Durham, who I had in here, it's seemingly
almost 3 hours ago.
Yeah, eons ago, when he joined me here in studio, is just waiting to play that next matchup against what's going to be a very tired Kell team.
Yeah, and a Kell team that has exhausted a lot of pitching, that's for sure.
Sends that one foul. Count is 3-2. Tai Peoples going to get another shot here at Ben Hill. He's 1 for 2. Of course, he had the home run back in, I think that was 2023. It was so long ago when we saw the first inning of this Franklin County Pope game. But the #1 ranked outfielder in the nation going to start things off here on the top of the 7th inning for Franklin County. 1 for 2 on the day.
Franklin County just looking for a bit of a cushion here. It's 3-2. It's been close. Had those 2 runs earlier in the game that swung this thing open. Then Pope brings it back close, and now we'll see if 7 innings later or 6 innings later we can see Tai Peoples repeat himself.
So McDevitt, after the very long AB, draws himself a 2-out walk. So now runners at first and second for Kell. Davenport now stepping to the plate.
Peoples down 0-2. 2 strikes looking.
Yeah, certainly the lefty facing the lefty Ben Hill. He's getting a really awkward look. He missed a bat off that arm angle. Stays alive as he fouls that one off.
Yeah, just kind of forced to put bat to ball on that one.
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable AB for Peoples as the left-hander against Ben Hill.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I'm sure Tai Peoples has hit his fair share of lefties, but with Hill's release point, it just seems
it's awkward.
Extremely difficult. Oh, wow.
Reaches out and sends that one into center field.
2 strikes and 2 outs. It's a big spot here. Forsyth Central hoping that they can just find some sort of offensive life when they do get out of this. There it is.
Swing and a miss, goes down on strike. So Kell strands 2 runners. That one is now headed to the bottom of the 10th inning in a 2-2 ball game. What's funny in the box scores, there isn't even like another run reflected. It just got moved to 3-3.
Yeah, well, in our box scores here only show the first 7 innings.
Oh, that is true.
So that's another issue we're running into there. I believe on our full box score here, it does show that there was just a run for each team given to them in that 9th inning.
So Gibson now at the plate for Forsyth Central with Tai Peoples at first. 1 down in the inning there.
Certainly expected if he finds himself in the right count that Peoples will try and advance to second base.
Got a new pitcher on the mound for Kell. Peoples taking off for second. The throw to Stutzer is cut off, but Peoples will be standing safely at second.
There it is, #1 and #3 in the state of Georgia. Right next to each other, talking back and forth.
It certainly, I mean, just stars everywhere across this weekend, and really got no better than this time slot as we had Stutzer, Peoples, and Gibbs all in action. Still waiting to find out who our new pitcher is for Kell.
I think that's still, is that still, was it Moreno, #4?
Yeah, that is still Marino.
Count. Works the walk right there. So now Franklin County finding themselves first and second with just 1 out.
This is Marino's 3rd inning of relief for Kell. He takes over for Evan Brand, who threw the first 6 innings.
Just heading into his 4th inning.
Yeah, heading into his 4th inning.
Wow. It's a lot to ask of a guy to come out of the pen and pitch 4 innings. Mound visit here for Pope. Trying to ward off this late push here from Franklin County to try and lengthen the lead.
Barr will be the first hitter for Forsyth Central here on the bottom of the 10th. Moreno drops in the breaking ball for a strike. Barr is 1 for 3 today. While Gailey steps to the plate for Forsyth, for Franklin County, excuse me. And their 3-2 lead over Pope in the top of the 7th. Miss inside makes it 2-0 to Barr. Forsyth Central would love nothing more than a base runner to start things off here in the bottom of the 10th as they look to walk this thing off. Now 3-0.
That fatigue is potentially setting in for Moreno after his 3 innings.
Next pitch will be number 26 as he took over for Evan Brand. 4th inning for the reliever. Down the middle for a strike.
That one, 87 off the bat, heading to center field. Peoples plays it conservatively there for second base, so no one advances on the fly out. Now 2 outs for Franklin County with runners on first and second, and a 3-2 lead for him in the top of the 7th.
Spikes that one in front of the pitcher. I thought that was a ball 4, but now we're just saying now it's 3-1. I believe we may have had an issue with our stream starting and stopping and restarting. I believe our stream just shut off.
Did we max out our time?
I believe we did. 3 hours must be the limit.
Okay. Yeah, are we still live on YouTube? If anybody's out there, you'd like to let us know. I think maybe on Twitter we've maxed ourselves out here at 3 hours. Keep calling this game. That one, 85.6 off the bat for Forsyth Central. That one drops in for
Yeah,
a
we're still live on
Okay.
on YouTube, so still coming correct on that platform. But you can only go 3 hours on Twitter if anyone was wondering. We've found our limitations.
Now Forsyth Central finds themselves in a good spot again. 1 out, Josh Gibbs at the plate, runner on first. We've noticed that Moreno's a little bit more fatigued now. See if this opens the window for a big moment here from Josh Gibbs.
Ben Hill gets himself an inning-ending strikeout there, so we're headed to the bottom of the 7th in Franklin County and Pope. Gibbs watches that in for a strike, 63.3 off the hands of Moreno. Oh-1 is the count to Gibbs. Josh Gibbs with a chance to cash in here. A laser 101.8 off his bat.
Just foul.
Just foul.
Oh, no. I think it was caught at third.
All right, so it was caught, but the runner was able to get back to first as our camera did not adjust to take in that hot shot 101.8 off the bat of the Georgia signee, and that will be out number 2.
I mean, that's a tough break for Gibbs. I mean, you did everything you could there. You absolutely barreled that thing up, 101.8 off the bat. Just a lucky glove stuck out in front of that ball, and all of a sudden, this good opportunity for Forsyth Central looks like we might be seeing 11. But we'll see. Nothing's over yet. Still a runner on first and 2 outs. Pick off move from Moreno. I'm not sure. Have we seen a pitching change here for Franklin County?
Yes, we have. Gibson is now pitching for Franklin County as Moorhead makes his exit after 6 innings.
Yeah, stellar day for him. Just amazing to see a guy go that late into a game.
Especially this early in the season.
Yeah. I mean, I was obviously around Forsyth Central for their first game of the day, and they were talking about how just about all their pitchers are on pitch counts right now. As they kind of continue to warm up this season, you're not going to expect a guy to go out there and throw 95, 100 pitches in a start. in mid-February when it's freezing cold outside.
0-1 count with 2 outs, a runner on in the bottom of the 10th in this stalemate between Kell and Forsyth Central. Runner taken off for second. The throw is going to be way late as he's on at second base now.
They made it a close play there. Seemed like he kind of slowed down.
Yeah, looked like he was well ahead of it.
And a good scoop and tag by second base, but not quite in time.
So Hudson Roach now at the plate, an 0-2 count, 2 outs, runner at second base. Forsyth Central thinking walk-off here in what's been an extremely long game between them and Kell.
Now Pope also thinking walk-off as the bottom of the 7th gets started there. Down
wow.
Just 1 run.
A game that started nearly an hour later is about to seemingly end before this Kell and Forsyth Central extra inning affair. Moreno gets away from the catcher.
I mean, Franklin County and Pope started 2 hours ago, 2 hours and 2 minutes ago. So they're right on schedule, essentially.
Levinson at the plate for Pope. Gibson on the mound. His first pitch misses for a ball. That one goes back, foul, counts now 1-2.
A ball down in the outfield. We'll likely see that run around third and trying to win this game for Forsyth Central.
I mean, I talked about it in the moment, but bases loaded for Forsyth Central. Ball hit into center field, and they don't take off from third.
I mean, that's just a crushing loss there to not bring in anything off of that.
Oh, man, drop third, the throw to first. We are on to the 11th inning in Kell and Forsyth Central as Forsyth Central strands the runner.
Wow. I mean, we're going to be approaching 3 hours of play here for Kell and Forsyth Central. They start at 3:15, eclipsing the 6 o'clock hour.
A game that just will not end. Again, much to the chagrin of Dacula, who's waiting to face Kell after this one's over with.
I mean, it's going to be so much colder. You think about that, like how much colder it's going to be when this game wraps up for Dacula and Kell.
Man. And here we thought we were going to get out of here at a decent hour today with this live stream. You never know what you're going to get with these watch parties.
No, definitely not.
We are in the bottom of the seventh, between Franklin County and Pope.
I hope some of our Twitter viewers have maybe jumped ship over here to YouTube.
Yeah, I did not realize there was a 3-hour stream limit on Twitter, or X, so we're finding that out in real time.
I mean, this is some can't miss baseball. To the people out there watching us on YouTube and presumably Facebook still.
Yeah, they're still both going.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to the Facebook people as well. We're watching some great stuff right now. I mean, you can't ask for more intense situations than a tie ball game that just went into the top of the 11th and a 1-run ball game in the bottom of the 7th. That bunt attempt fouled off for Pope. You got the runner on first, no outs, down 1 run. Looking for some magic. Looks like our batter might have just kissed his bat.
That's Moreno, who's been pitching for Kell, will now start things off here in the 11th inning. He's first pitch swinging, sends that foul. Roach back on the mound. He's thrown 63 pitches thus far in relief for Forsyth Central. (0-2) count for Brennan at the plate for Pope.
Oh, it's hit opposite field. It's foul. A close one down the line.
So runner will retreat to first for Pope.
We just saw a 57-mile-per-hour curveball that just dropped in for the second strike of the at-bat.
Upcoming 65th pitch for Roach, goes back to that curveball, looping one at 56.4. And missed to make the count 2-2. Stutzer stepping to the plate for Pope. Runner at first.
Another big moment for a big player here. We've kept seeing it. Obviously, we have a star-studded lineup still going. See what Stutzer's got here. The runner on first.
Ball hit up the middle. Second baseman gathers it for Forsyth Central, throws over for the second out. Meanwhile, John Stutzer, 97.1 off his bat for a one-out single. Runners now at first and second for Pope.
And the amazing thing is that Stutzer's got burners. So if you do get something out into the gap, you can almost bet on John Stutzer giving it a try to maybe walk this game off.
Winbush steps to the plate for Pope. One out. Runners at first and second.